na the mentia and say the politics are here or my women to know him. They be abwa will be crying. A man for say there be a man you say will cry and her money. Mattis MPP for the because it wasn't an evacuation to save our ground, but it was just an arrangement. All my citizens are some of the parts in the Middle East. Now yeah, there a bit of flight restrictions out to so any other. Baby, who you say for no lectures, your mama swear the moko. It's your banning shadanya bibis from Kubia, you yate. A 2 near dinner, the animals to have rabbi in a while. Alright, so that's the information coming from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And Kahube Yampo said, one more a person. One more Saudi Arabia, I call observe a mechano. And Common Chinkan Sukakra. With him, man for your CIA or your Ewasako Kobunimudia. But the nano pen will talk some more now for Yat and maybe I say. So far, information I have and said a nipa over 1,000 and I say so much or Monkwa. A queen shall say a nanufia de yano. A nipa should or Monkwa Ebrahim. American forces says they will take over of all the airspace in Iran. And Iran wanted year. It's under siege by the United States. Well, they are some move. But me for me, I would all cover for bet you to say, Sana Quacoy. Iran for the door, me a union. Say, woman to me, a woman to me, couple. All right, so hang on this morning. And the Minister for Interior was in the Parliament House of Ghana. I know answer questions via Interior Ministry. Them say some Kanya Shaman for Buffoni said, and the Muntaka's leadership as the Minister for Interior. Dear, your friendly protocol no welcome. And Nadia Yabefa, a yam ranty animabawa, aqua sremu, aqua police mu, aqua fire prisons, immigration money at the idea. Because an anano muchafeni, Amanyo for muchafeni, MPs muchafeni, MMDCs muchafeni, also no, also Sania man is Sania man will come. It's going to be based on merit only, okay? And if you don't qualify, now we need the meriter who meet the criteria. And now they are buying with us so near the protocol. I hear you. I can't answer the man for both in the rough. I'm so much because who protocol here and I'm out to my baby minister. I ran Kratem Ukraina. Oh, we need the upon our Greek. Kabananka Kokons and Semi. What great one can now buy any defense. And I want to protocol in which me a Minister for Interior. What are you telling it? All right, just hang on this morning. We'll talk some more on some of these issues on your table, okay? Now, and I say full tanker be a money. I will confer the amount for quite so. On the Dan Darko Koba NPA for Edeban. Maybe next year. Where am Saman for take Kokoban into Omoya Kakra. Yantis Saman for the Honharia Cope Fango. Among for Korea videos. Yeah, they're ready. I say. What shall you so da? What have I can say? No more, you won't mind. Hey, Mama Tampa. What can you found? I'm Chontiano Pewni and I'm a Dwaboase so. On Power FM 97.9, we say power to the people. And we're live on TVXYZ. The more you know, the less you worry. And up here, crack of feeder, Koya will feed her. Your bon crack and so Abeka Yensa. And times where Veggie Brenner for the Muboswana Bremo. Now, you're quite near Gupramamun Sam so ever. Al Wahab is my guest on the table this morning. Your Ghanaians need be the Middle East. Anyone who didn't come and no pay. Yahya said, you am Shishiano, SCA, Edefa. I just want to pay in about Quaco to Israel, Fabi. I said, the amount for Sue or no, Namenqua. The Yamian Fefia, to pay an Omadinam Alata Memune, Burkina Memun, Donald Trump, so Chem. All right, hang on this morning and let's serve you breakfast with information. Akra Kofi da ko ha. Mr. Lovely. What's not say? Lebeji Brena Fia de Bon Krata no Emubuso no Abramo live here.
Power FM.
Thank you. Mr. Desmond Laye. That's right. Accra. Let's say.
Kwabena radio.
Bibi aboko de.
Na yawo da nso ye ni yawo.
Debi
no bibi ayeboko.
Debi bibi aboko.
Radio dumti.
Mo. Na dabena topa ye no mbeto ba ko ato Africa have.
Oze.
Ado you masho.
Kwabena na wo de aga sabra.
Na
Kwabena wo. Na yawo da no pay. O pese ye di yawo se o mesa topa e bi mra Ghana. Ana se bibi mamu.
Nti na ese ye boy e bray.
And ekosi ayi Eastern Africa cry ye nyina ye mehye.
Serious.
Na
serious.
Africa country bend there was a capacity na say yay
a country be need that capacity.
Africa.
You think so?
Kwabena gaba na ye nyina ye gasa.
Hey. Any ye wu.
Na Africa.
Intimibo. Every Independence Day money idea your military strength are you showcase name. Arms ne you know sankrofo na ya omo ba be mensem wo na ya no person omo kyerese kwa ya no person omo kyerese
Kwabena jai
ya for Roberts
Kwabena jai
galam se for crowd so sa no mu dwane
Kwabena se wenka
no serious so
Kwabena mi se nka now Iran fo Iran,
good.
One country, and it has to take two countries to join forces to be able to get their leader, a whole mighty America,
good.
And then Israel together and one the supreme leader of Iran, AFM. Now, say Dubai, hey Yakrabo, almost over to Africa, say you met me.
Serious.
Oh, Siko. Now I allow
but is it about intelligence? And as a winner, now you're on top of the game, and I say, sika.
Kwabena.
Any what resources?
Kwabena. One.
Yeah.
I didn't hear intelligence.
Say Ghana have a school of nuclear sciences. Your atomic commission money at the adina. Yentiminya to pay back okra.
Question you be saying, I was so from Okoto.
You need to pay back okra Ghana. You need to pay back okra Ghana. Oh. Come bad the topai cry in view. Oh, I assume.
Pepper spray.
Any water cannons on the idea.
I don't know, say school for demonstration.
You and you said the piano. It's that it's me a junior.
It's you. Yeah, it's not a busy baby. Not young, who said, oh, yeah, Christopher and Bayer, we answer, yes, baby, because you
do fear,
go one who sound him go, hey, now, share, near my womoto.
Yeah.
Sa missiles
yeah
womu tobacco e bia tise osuanu mo womu tobacco en number bi tise Nigeria na yechiri ho me wo ho nyina be se no
serious o
Kwabena Miss Africa
go anope womu tobacco ko Israel na enipa e dwane wo ho no
easy
and over there building blocks over there 50 ni nyina na surrounded by fumes and flames of fire near there Charlie serious.
And grandma, Baku
beton cry ha.
You
capital ning na nani. Bem to say Hiroshima no. Hey.
Enti.
Asemu.
Uni made enti de bia no Africa.
Yeah.
Ni e be ya ni se be sere wo. E ba muja munya wai. E sere mo munya wai. Ye tumi. Ye ni sa capacity no.
Oh.
Na why na ko gina ho?
Serious.
Hey.
Enti na pese ete na maybe ase na dia hwe bibi okon ko because since last Friday echina na na watching no.
Yeah.
Enipa ewu or Iran inquiry is over 1,000.
Yeah.
American casualties is getting to over 100. And Israel near the end. As I say no we are now helpless.
Yes.
United Nations are toothless. African Union cried their member.
Na UN
ECOWAS cried their debit. NATO money, Commonwealth money ade.
Kwabena.
Obia is silent.
United Nations.
Yeah.
One control your US. One and one bet me aka
say US asase so cry.
And the US na lead adeno.
That's right.
Wow. Nipa. Ono no obekwa ka say o yen kotena say ono na lead. It is say hina no obeka bia ma. Hina no obeka bia ma. I say papa bia me nim no Umar Ibrahim. Umar Ibrahim na oh you helpless obi amwa no uma pesika onye bi akora metie mi pesika mi nya bi na hina na babua inte wo so ye de pa mo che o mo ye kakra sa ntie sra na ye be kono nen Kofi Annan yankasa ye ndesi Kofi Annan be ye turofo panyi amansa gabom ku no edu sha da na be kwa koka.
No, but I think Kofi Annan or Han Kobe to me put Trump to other.
Oh.
Yeah, Kobe to me I call him to say diplomacy.
Oh, Jaja. Kwabena.
No, Kasa.
Kwabre.
Oh, you think Sen come to me?
Oh, Kwabena Jai.
Hey,
power. Kwabena Jai.
And your former Senegalese president Macky Sall Ekope UN Secretary General idea Asemu.
Kwabena Jai.
Wow, not even Guterres.
Na order then.
And they to me I call Trump to order.
Ah, na Sebi Ushamase, me na me musika ye oniama. And na me hwe no. Me se me koya de wo no baba ka kire me se me nyai. So ho.
Wow.
Kwabena
China.
Kwabena so ho.
Yeah.
Etino Gulf countries no and asisia no.
But I like the position of Spain. Say omo allow US to use their airspace. For the attacks
and UK so matter say almost say they will not join that attacks
say among for no stand their ground sir at a point bet me America a bit helpless now if your mom said they are in this fight alone into so more retreat now if you are senior ni peace
but we from mum Kwabena said they be a bombaya yes Israel nyankropon
yeah Jerusalem nyame
yo
also
yes free for Israel and now Jew ni
yes we so home we are seeing
but yes Israel nyame Israel so na ntokwa we si we Kwabena dan ne ye beye
let us say Israel or maybe to me and no amunya kon in do omo so
exactly jedi fo de bia ye be ko Israel ko bompai ho ya asase kron ye be si cathedral ekra buka mi ho ne ko fa obofri ye de bai and asase na ye kron e ho no na ntokwa we si sui enti ne ho no ye kron ana
say be New Jerusalem through the holy wall on this annual.
Sir.
Honey, no go area so.
Ayo, minimum
holy wall no dem say what to pay cry na. Enya dey bit me ebu no.
And a Muslim sumunsu, one say Muslim Islam sumsu and no see for asumdwe.
Yeah, go.
Me boa. Iran so say hono so on pasumdwe. Into sisi antokwa we si ho mani pewu. Dasumdwe ekoso ho ana. No kware asam baabi. No kware bi wo baabi a wo se wo ka kire wo mun kan kire. Kwabena ayasem. Da chi ye beka sasem we. Say Muslim mi na fofo ne fema abusuafo mo ye Muslim fo. Me say Ibrahim say. Opani odo me opema asem. Me so me ye Christian no so ye Muslim so me ni be no ye tena se didi. Egba no eye the kingdom of mangma business so me ni Ibrahim na ye. Wo beka kire me say akora me pay fa ne bre me. So wo ye do ye ho. Good. And ye be ye ho asem ye ti Ghana asundwe mu. But me jedi ni say kronkron a asase kronkron no Israel. Nso ni jedi eyifa. Saudi Arabia those countries also na ntokwa we si
enti Burkina Faso omuntumi ende
Oje Kwabena mi sira ma mi copy person no
Burkina Faso omuntumi there
Daily Graphic
na me ba Baumia is safe. Baumia is safe now.
Baumia
good
yo
ye ba aban na ba so ye ba aban na ba so
Samuel Okujeto onipa ba ablakwa
good
on the team of foreign affairs ministry wanga yade
yes baby anaba me amhye no
eyi kire se Ghana ni bia
to paye ba ko anos na ayam hihia no se ne esi baaye no enu na ban ne hu se da bi se won fa ne ho anjimu a
ebebu aka
wa hwa ye nti asem de wo mai
eyi kire se aban eye Ghana ban enye ankrankra enya manyeku bia ban enti Ghana ni bia wo ba bi biara bribitu na e wo se ye de ye bone ho ban enti me let me commend the government led by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the commander in chief and then the minister for foreign affairs Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa so timi bu ama on Ghana yenga na musi bia ya e wo sa omangne so timi nyankita hudi ma owura Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia
she said you are safe
on ni hukeni Samira Baumia ni pe bi friend say aka Madam Makeup mami fai nunca ho na omotimi akọ hwe won na wan akọ je wa abo ho ban no eye papa ye da won ase Ghana fu eni ne ehwe eye government for the people eye banga odwe nipa ho eye social democratic government let me commend the government.
Beautiful.
And then Foreign Affairs Minister, so they are very, very important to us. Ghana forget about younger man, you say me and
what who say as a MPP for no led by Miracles. Almost so much say abaning anything special.
Or no needing no
abaning anything special. I mean, it was just a protocol arrangement. My mind be Jano, space near safe for the call. And Koba say be a Wamusu frame will be bibi and I'm
Sabrantino. Mere money ding. He doesn't worth our airtime.
Okay.
Yo, it's like a dinger than is on a young who do man or yo, Kaya Mini, and Kameka and Casagrove and Hunka I didn't in American. Obaya bankruptcy pending under the same government, Obaya, this, the same president, no, you would. Subambang, no, then do. Okoye, a bankruptcy when you walk, a banident in a way.
I see.
Oh, me and you.
A crack of feed.
Lovely.
An open fire call.
Daily graphic and Amedia Fiasi and Nayauda Anopena Sanquesia what Nanim Hanom. Also Busumi, a Cakrantem near Yesi, E-Levy Efiho. Still out, Cosso Cotonia, my invoices I had by Mauno. Still on Camese, E-Levy no, Ewaswa, Ehawa Jene, Ewahonum. Na an Indian Ghana Revenue Authority, so Ekachre, consumers said they should insist on paying only 20%. And also some man pay how daily graphic who some by was a bang and a GR in a fee as you are Sika Samson or to me to one among Busumi being a chini. Yes, a young 11 COVID-19 11 so also got to Tonema a Gusu was a how daily graphic as a full for the about Katafa et or so a song no or say Nema Buasanga Confirm now or the Fubusumia Eba Navieno according to government statistician. Dr. Al-Hassan o say inflation abedu how much it may be a such a power ebisa or February if international some ever handles a nema boa fema any gusua every echo Ghana chami hinu our young Mashebegum urban sumana Kingsford Bagman ono there to go him say Mashebegwa wonge juma no betremu onko ye no se begina fako enti wo be decentralizing no no so ewo page 11 enti na Her Excellency Professor Nana Jeno Poko Ajiman oyo Ghana young man peninga bedi chiri odi anim ma mofra makumaku eduonum ebien 52 eya na edru obusumi se na ye be sha Ghana young fa hudi hu fa yeta bo won abaso no asabaso body ne baso ewo Accra International Conference Center enti emsamu from makumaku 52 yi na omutinya Presidential Independence Award ibi na Kwabena Nura ye bubo body
yes selection no mama yes screening who said we mun deserve for senior man
woman district offices of the Ghana Education Service yewu and woman selection based on say biana yebeka say district capital na say woman share schools I share nkura say say bian share that wom den nso mofra ne bo wo homoden na ye disaba so body yakwa makwabna no ye bubo schools ni bi di na bi ye Jesus Christ Joseph and Mother Madarine enye izo
elene RC ni bi amem
debi na se bi se chiri mankasa kwa minti ni ding ni bi da nso mofra timi a excel menne wo mutua won adesha so ebi ntimi eba Presbyterian boys wo legon hanom ebi Wesley girls ni ade na se won abo wo homoden ebi nso free nyon ne echi enye izi ye wonti omo
come me akra kofi da ko thank you
Kwabena ma me call Daily Post na Daily Post asem kesi ade aba ewanim ha no o se Ghana Medical Trust Fund swears in entity tender committee chemse basunku a we bahwe se eye Mahama Care se ye bahwe se enu no ma won anya yare bi ti se kidney a eya na ne boya den se obetumi anya sika e de akohwe won yi anase won kasa betumi ahwe won hui no basunku a we bahwe se obetumi atoto niema na ye betumi distribute sa fund ni ye no bi kwa betumi so eni sa betumi akabi no no na wo pa ho won ho entama Daily Post edi ho amanebo aba ewo enim ha na migusu wo Daily Post ma o se Cocoa Board Deputy CEO appointment rebuttal dismisses conflict of interest claims as baseless obekaya ora Vincent Ekowasefua old Tafom na Shebegweni MPP amanyuku ni dim Vincent nanka tama na onye na Shebegweni nanka no oka no kware Yo.
Oh, ye PR education.
Yo, na oka no kware sa abrenum but obey mrase begwene na Vincent na anamodu. I say sama wusu ni nyombi. O se ma shampabo afoforo. Nti ama me nante wasesa. Besin wo he me den so mu koribia menu mu se ko. Enti no Vincent no this aniam no come Shraj fu se wonya hwem. Say ba ni den na deputy CEO di Shraj. I say na adwuma ori no conflict of interest wom. Enti enya hwem. Eno na Shraj fu hwehwe mo se wo dabi eyide ye jetum sa enye yenti won ato nsem ne nyina achene na no pedeli pose e dia ba the overseer mo ohwehwe mu na overseer hwehwe mu no ohwehwe mu na di na ni ta chiri no amane bo de aba nen o se lawyer go lawyer come NDC communications back Abbas for national communications role na lawyer Nuruddin Abbas mprempreng ono no yes antimantem okasamafo edima eye endisa manyuko no na orasa me jamfi su mprempreng ono no ye omamu ni nyina enkrato bofotene edima endisa manyuko no na overseas wa hwehwe mpatakrema no wahu say yiwu bia ye druide lawyer Abbas Nuruddin ono no ba bedi lawyer Sami Jamfi ade national communications officer edima eye endisa manyuko no enti odi hu sema ba na obahu say lawyer Sami Jamfi owo anim hanom a one Abbas Nuruddin I say ne wori twetwe nkobo e wo honom a ene overseer de hu amane bo aba asefufre na no pay overseer ade aba no o say gold board jewelry to launch maiden eye heritage village gold board fo wori ye niam bi a ebo aye papa say yan fama gudi no won kuto na mra ne ma wo ho kwan say obetimi aton obetimi de hu gwanti o say ene wo bepe ekure bi a honom na opa gold yi a ubekon wakoto bi ne ye bedi hu gwa kama no ena no pay the overseer edi hu amanebo aba ewo enim hanom eti mamifa overseer so ensi ha na menko enkrata no foforo emu mamiko foforo mu dia na medru eye presosem chronicle dia ba o say cannibal serial killer jailed for life abranti bi wo say ukopemu atifidu mantema ana ma munu nyina mpo wi tse ne yere ye eye adwumai no ye bra ahamatofo ni tumu a obetumi afre na wa kire na adwene wonsem akoro ye beka ho asem na wo se wakum nipa dodo baburo adu no entenam mikrofon da so ti ase enam so ye di na kopemu asem media ye di ni kopemu e wo honom no court say there be abrante ye hwe suban we ye ntimi ni mu tena krom anase mpote manye yesa ntimi ni wori kase no wo se wo di na ko hye di na ko to efiase onko honom they go to for life nunkwa na aka no wasase su nyina no obedino ewo eye efiase ewo honom
it's a cellmate no msha da bon special the man welcome good
asem fufre na no pe chronicle bresu sanda bokrata no dia ba no maka ho asem did I say 50 oil calls all government 986 million Ghana cedis in taxes. GRA promises to recover the money.
It is no yamo seize operations and omo ye adwuma no mo de ateka no
ni se ne ayedi em se wonga seize wo operations e wo hono sa eti eno so ye nsema na no pay eye chronicle e di aba kwabena brand ye di adwuma ti de bokrata no musem no ha na no pay midi ebesi na Roger Emmanuel abetuaso no the sports abre na kwabena nksa na mekono mami na ede enkrameyo ase
Enkrameyo
ye ni papo alote Michael
Accra wo mayor
Accra wo mayor
Greater Accra ha on na mayor of Accra kwabena se ye behwe se bambo ye behwe se ebedi mra so mayor
ye behwe se ye mu obi amfa so ye behwe se manfo nyina wo betena se nkramante ma ye won adwuma bi erentete wom adrabafo bedi wom mra so wo betwi hyan bebia wo se wo pake wo be pake ye be mam na
adwuma no
na adwuma nan
mayor
ahonidi nso be konka
wo ye adwuma no won kran ha
o ye adwuma ni ye papa kwabena mamina Michael Papo alote ase mamina na si ye papa mankasa mi se mi danase oni
personal
only Greater Accra Regional Women Organizer of the NDC Madam Felicia McCoy many thanks to her mi danase ye papa mi danase
aden wa wo fufu amu abedia
kwabena mamina wonga sisa odi brepe mo no maka asem no NFA the medical director Osanye superintendent ewo Lekma Eye hospital
all right
ni ding the Dr. Ekria Jima Esante Dr. Ekria Jima Esante ono no ye medical superintendent say administrator kwabena mami da na se
yeah nipa ya de osai
ene anasi fo ni doctor for mo ho mi da won ase asida nkuto na matimi di ama won mi da won ase asida na matimi di ama won ye papa
right yeah
nti mi di besia won aka no brepem no ma wo mo susu me da won ase sara kwabena nipa ya de a
all right
osai na yewura Ibrahim Mahama
yeah baba
aye na de ni bio uni ma de a wa ya mani eje
why then
producer say meter maso producer chem you ma me say 1 minute say no private jet bi
yes all private jet jata
yo wasan akoto foforo ena nia ewo ho deda no
wakoto another jet
yo
okay
ena odi old one no akoma oman no
odi old one na mo man
odi ache yen
odi amagana
yo say yemfanye air ambulance putupru bibisi wo maima
all right
ti say ukwabra ti wami amiti hwe na bibisi na wo say de mi kwama no sa
that's right
maybe wo say de ukwa bi ne ekohwe
good and some of them call Germany specialist to Germany some call Germany now
putupru kwanso wo betimi akofa sa awem hyen no
all right beautiful
Ghana for hin wo betimi aye sa
and first one also they no abo for their mine
sa
because the first one there is more of like a state jet president Kwabena or the manon O24 Kwabena or the manon Gamanche Kwabena or the manon
sa
entino onu akra ni personal round say so ye kra no say dey nya bre entino is only fair and square so there no be chow mine na wonim say MPB I throw bibia for Ibrahim Mahama
o say dey
David Ansan Opoku na o say in February 2020 after a near fatal accident a close friend of mine received an unexpected call. It was Ibrahim Mahama. He asked that the hospital be informed to prepare me to be evacuated out of the country on his private jet.
OPD.
It was a moment that revealed the depth of his kindness and readiness to help when it truly mattered. Today, seeing him dedicate his old jet to be converted into a life-saving air ambulance for nationwide emergency response is both inspiring and commendable. Acts like this remind us that leadership and patriotism are often expressed through quiet generosity and service to others. If he has made this commitment to support emergency medical care in Ghana, then it is only right that we wish him well and pray for God's continued blessings upon him and this noble initiative. Ghana needs more acts of compassion and national service like this.
So,
on say,
oh
yeah, a member of the opposition.
Yeah.
Anna all throw this about Ibrahim Mahama, on your politician, or businessman, but a man for him say Ninu the president. OP Kenya Minshra.
Nyamishra no. Kwabena ehidi adansi say Ibrahim Mahama. Obaka ya abofra bi audition bi was sentimentam. Eto bi ko kasa nani.
SDA student. Good. Offline or outside. And many others. Many others.
Enye obi abeka say or belonging to left and I said right.
Good.
Oye Ghana ni.
Nyankopon Nshra ne pa.
Enti Nyankopon ga chenade na we nya sika so babua yen a. Na wa yes ade we a. E was say nyina ye boy ensem. Emma no. Wa body humodi nye papa. Onyaminshira baba. Onyaminshira baba ye papa. Me say they di gang me share no.
This is Matisse so person yari by force cry.
Oh there be Kwabena me yari de. But only me share no first day no. Me kutu fam na me chia na me say oni made a me pe wo ho. Wa ho brase.
Mo.
Eno na me be wo na me say Nyankopon ma me wa ho brase ne bi. Nti baba nyame nshira no. Kwabena onipa yade a osaye. MC Lekma ono so midanasi ye pa kuzo midanase
as MC for the other do munchia basa
Kwabena onipa yade a Kwabena onipa yade a
okay
osaye
because mayor say me nim de oye nso so ye mayor
unimi
ana am say na dwen say mayor no just oye TikTok na obody na kra betimi ask amafo obo am kan chen so
Kwabena na adwuma oye no enye easy odi ya Kwabena sha mi wachiri ho
mate me da so all right, and open that crack of the Kwase or the double crata and by Aquam. The ancient in social empty and say responsible lending should be your goal, okay? Make we talk through small. Emergencies know the give signal. So when life happens, Momo Day, borrow what you can handle from your MTN Momo app, pay back on time with no pressure because when you pay back, the cycle continues and you get to do more with your MTN Momo. Responsible borrowing be the real flex. Momo Day, do more with your MTN Momo app. Na kokoba NPA ta edema no pa bia e wo Dwaboase so no em say enra ne si e wo kofredu akwan so no ma ya hunu say 7 previous amanfo tie kokobo ni ye pa nti enra tanka na emunu ya eja to mu no ya hunu say amanfo Edi aho pray kwa akohia ehon nsem ne ade mo ade mo nkoso sa MPSA do not get closer to scenes in an attempt to overtake to take pictures or videos when a fuel tanker overturns. Okay, inhaling petroleum products is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of properties. Call trained professionals such as the Ghana National Fire Service, the Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach out to the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380 0302 550 380. Remember, your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority. And a pair man like Roger Emmanuel Atanasi, young call for the morning sports quickly on your radio.
Power FM.
Roger, next time.
Good morning, Don.
Beautiful. Girls need us to a cutter hole.
Yes, I'm down who now, more captain Nakasa. Say they do the or so more by Cotuma. Yes, Yempe chatted flight.
Who parking is so crying as a two penny back over fat parking. If you want to cry now, you almost say to two sow, betting po, betting po, and Ukraine just so Makuma. We send you a cocoa no. Sikai, they be more and then the best of
Yempe chatted flight to be safe. Okay, running the almost beer to make a crave.
Airspace is nearly safe. Okay,
yes, since you almost say Yembe for when you may be an almost last match.
Snoop Obi how mama say obi mu mama cry na mountains e bomb fire so mo ba
because baby and e do ni
Minister for Foreign Affairs on take notice na fe ni oyema ba me ano onyema the Black Princesses and Black Queens. Oh, the senior female
blasters no
blasters
blasters man
Roger Yanko.
Right, it in pay a trust for money sports here, the pro Dwaboase platform Kesewe. So I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I don't pay about Pano, pro. I was sure to say Facebook, Power 97, now wait me a general Bipiaso, it's me a custom for YouTube, so no say them life, sports more active, and so YouTube, wait me a journey. Now, for near costing now, so say to me a committee, and the road I man from me the sports, Monake Botela, Kojofosu, I mean, I take him and PS in Kunya in Sabano at the Abraham Centrum. Now, if the Black Queens of Ghana. So yeah, on with a pink ladies cup ekoso our UAE na Ghana about the first match echi Hong Kong about Makana Hong Kong for no and Timiante Richi Ghana esansu echi Russia about Makana and Timiante Ghana second game across Ghana last match no nyamia to any Tanzania and about me Eddie Aridas na onim center kwa eno ekoso wo Middle East and Iran and afi Israel and US in Tokyo ekoso no nyadia nioma ekoyie kra our Middle East in Portland no and as say ni abatu jan so room our the Black Queens of Ghana so ya players be enyunyi players be ekasa niomo kenyina and so rest na nioma sikoso na fe 2 pine etutu missiles na etutu our Portimo na uti oda hobeti boom say akwakoya ya busihye nko say Ministry of Youth and Sports na fe foreign affairs ministry niomo etutu komana say say mo say be ade bodi buyano betimi abefie na bipese timi akoko say charter flight impo say say penfor na enemanum ya no enye santutu na say be ya ebetimi abepiem awo Ghana na say be ya ne ekoso nyina no enkonkofa atwenchim bia so emfa ema ne nyina say kire say penfor ambe charter flight ambe form dia last game against Tanzania no nyadia ebejina mo isakan esanse situation I know our UAE and afi Middle East important no say nyadia ekoyie kwante sahima erima the Black Queens of Ghana Porsche abuachi wono na edi sanse na atuja so say yempe charter flight na nimanim ya no yemfa me form na afi mbp mu Ghana anti nu yesema the Black Queens of Ghana players no asu tuja re hosem ema mo na no penko MTN FA Cup na afi hosem ekoso onim say MTN FA Cup for the atuja say that data tournament na betimi abase na fi Venus jumade na betimi abase for chess na me atuma matches na ebabase between 13th to 16th March 2026 and games na ebetimi abase na games na betuja awona na fosi Gia Ball Park and wo bechem and afi Cape Coast Stadium ho and for chess games na ebetimi abase na onim say Cape Coast Sports Stadium na dia Dream Service former champions omni Pando Hat of Lion and a ebetimesia nafi atrom divisa as in the Diama Sporting Club and sebetimi dia readers and which nana for Gia Bo Paco and a Techima Liberty FC ebeterefi na fi omni Adriana Stars as dia readers and a Nation FC and so any Precum Chelsea and see the betimesia I want nana for Gia Bo Paca and no our betim ho and as our games in so ebetimi abasere honsem as to the young constable from na young Coco Piemon or referees manager Ora Alescotti and our Dinsema crowd to just one and any dressing who said Obetimia Bono Modi said that Tibiano Ghanaian referee Ebetimia Copiemo or World Cup no na Serbia Vano Obetimia Copreti na Amabian said Timia Queen Yentin is someone or can say any target say Ghanaian referee Ebetimia Copiemo World Cup no Yenti Alescotti.
The first one is to get a FIFA referee to the World Cup, to the World Cup final. That is the first thing. Not from the current crop of FIFA referees that we have. I'm looking at the next generation of the FIFA referees. We will get it. We will get them. If they are able to keep up with the work, the education and training that we have given them, I'm sure we will get them. When I came into refereeing, my target was to get to the FIFA referee and also get to the World Cup. That was my target. And for me, I said that I would not even bother if it is under 17, under 20, or whatever it is. The world stage was very important. I was able to get there. And so I told myself that given this opportunity, I must.
This manager, let's cut and what you are to just say, Nibuta Bakupano said, I implement video assistant referee. Our Ghana Premier League no Serbia and Tawantewe Kosu Sasha Sense so we offside so we foul ni sani manina no to betimi ni target ni say obetimi implement video assistant referee our Ghana Premier League no sene kosi enti no kind of no so
that's the first thing. Yes. The second one that I mentioned has to do with technology. Now refereeing is all about technology. So in the next 5 years, like you are saying, if God gives us life and I'm leaving, I want to see that we have implemented the VR. It is one thing on my heart. It is one thing on the heart of the FA president. And we want to ensure that if I'm able to do that, I'm at peace.
Okay, the referee manager Ora Alescotti and some I want also and on a period after the Arabian so I'm on a yefio. Na yefani enchirem ansemu from when we say Silly National of Guinea na ho and a branch for say Mohamed Kamara goalkeeper Erima Kumasi Asante do ho and a ofriane say reporter ban say a branch anya call up anyame yatuma Romo international friendly games sebetimi abasa against Togo and afi Benino a branch anya call up obetimi akopim na afi akosi akan eri ama Silly National of Guinea ano a reporter fi Kumasi Asante do Soya and also etimi ababetuja na Ediana Stars omo abrante bako ya for the Hansen and Ponsan when we say babetuja sabrate ni fie ne jatom ema ne japade nyina hye mane abrante na che say abonte no da ni dan nyina hye na no pe reporter ya tell say do mahene ono aye Bangalore adi ma Ediana Stars nana ajima betu etimi adonate sika no aye 100,000 Ghana cedis edi assist abrante so onye na ne niema ahye nyina no onfa mo na fie onpa bebia serebe ya wodi ne ti ebetu na fie pipia setimi akwenti no ye reporter ano se fioroma no so etimi abaye mo se mo from na ye de ani echiremu our maiden edition of Lawson Dere Community Gala ano ebetimi abasnyam ya tuma eye Saturday we na se jwede no pass our dansuma astrotef no so na se jwede kese na esase fi na eye busumi bako na pedifodi esi o se jwede no betimi abaso na oyese na esi etedia na say every week bia no ye dey games ne be betimi abaso ti weekend bia no games ne be ebeba so 32 teams na say no eye communities ano our Greater Accra and in Portimua na oye communities ne bia na say ashama ebetimi aba sasa na sakumo no dansuman na fi kuntun say ensu eba nima eba tema community 2 omosene eba na fi abeka awoshi choko na fi adan cities ana say other areas nyina so eka wono nyina ebetimi abapiem na fi nema timi akoka ni nyina se perforce se omo achichemu into groups na obetimi ahwe na jibere na kosi na quarter final teams no omo ene betimi advance na fi omo akomo na se anopa no nkron na games na timi ahase na perforce se teams ni nyina no obi a ebe register 20 players a omo ebetimi agire mu ahwe se ne be a jibere ne betimi akoka 20 minutes na perforce betimi about first half ebe 20 minutes na fi second half so aye 20 minutes na nyina so etimi abo other fixtures ne bi onum se choko omo ani Polygon na ebetimi ehia na fi Ashaman any tema community 2 ansi dia readers abeka downs ebetina fi na omo ni Ashama e dia readers Kwabena town ansi ni Kasua youngsters ansu na ehia na perifo chese price money bi eda so ani se wo obeji trophy no 40,000 Ghana cedis count sabetimi aka otosimi no a 30,000 Ghana cedis and after otosimi ensa 20,000 Ghana cedis otos 9 so 10,000 Ghana cedis eno yeska on sanso ebetimi aka na se jumede kese a eno eba so no eno openia ono ekasa edima loss jumekuo no eye NS oti aka Virgin Sun ena wodi nsema krade atujada fa jumede kese a ebetimi abaso purpose ntia jumede ne eba se yentie ni nsem a wokan ye
se ohe community gala yede eba all the regions a ye nidaso anase ye botaye si yeno so ne se ye pese footballers a ewo krom ha ene wona o manage football hu nyina no enya anigi ewo football mu bi because ye football na ewo Ghana ha no yira kakra into Dr. Loss na fato no se sa football ne gala na first ekoso during Christmas ne Easter no ye pese ye sa de babaka ebema communities no wo ma omo ye boys omo ye guys na ewo ho ye footballers no mo betimi ani ayede age na afin so wona o manage football ho betimi anya akwenya na etimi anya management papa obetimi manage no na player na etimi akonanim na enya no nko a ohwe program na aye ya na gala na ekoso baby bebre na ohwe scare da so a scare emu yedu enti ya hwe se community bitimi hwene a ombetimi nso e de abobra ombetimi de aye bibi pa bi ombeso omoye enti
ni yesema NS oti adodo na afene Virgin Sun ni sema kanwachi no de atuja se we enye one day wonder wose omo ya afi we dia ebeto asosa every year omo ebeye
dada sisi ene ya betena because awha enya akra hanko a na yebo no yebobu all the 16 regions no ukosunya ya yebu Cape Coast takrade yenhwe baby de set takwa yenhwe baby de set techimai miamia bebre tamale yebobi wo ho enti ya ade a ye no miamia bebre a ekire se ya ade ne ya betena na ne America ne se mepese me no eto nchia se nyame ya adoma December no we ne ye ne communities but December ne yebebo interregionals eno dia wa obedi first ewo Accra ha no wono wona ewo Kumasi nso be hia wa obedi first ewo Kumasi obetim no obi o Techimai etimi ahia wa obedi first wo Cape Coast obetim no obi o di first wo Tamale be hia enti adna ye no yebotaye pa no eso kese pa
Jinsan ena muti se wadi sa semina atujana professional referees ena betimi awia games na etimi akosi na match commissioner ono betimi abejimena na se oro efene se Henry Yanke ono se kase ka cheche mra a governing community gala ono se na pass yeti ni okan.
Yeah, very simple. Football is a passion, but say what do wakoma and no what dream and manage minima what football nkwiji enti FIFA Sesembra are ASC Disu. You're both on and off the pitch. The American say, Danidi and Mani in Ababe Tuja, but me, I'm not particular about Enyoma Mienu. Bakuye registration. We are community. We will be our community in my mesre. And me, basic time, Yabashasiano. Identify your players and register them. One register player, please forget it. If for the player now, you do point. Very simple. Intimacy, Baku. Registration is very important. Register your players. Let's get
Henry Yanke match commissioner no ebe jimere na semna launch ni koso na wodi sansemna tujana kutu se omu coach eye ora coach David eno wakasi kakra afa preparation on the side no aya omodi wremu e tournament no yentini so
Simply for us, sir, on waiting to organize this tournament, then Kabum, every community sitting around. I beat me during your training session, I would say, you register and you need the Kutusi community, I pen. And the ready say tournament, no, bano. You didn't be your expectation is you be do fun and you the trophy, no, I come your community. And 37 in the Bessia, you won't match that. Where I already said 37 if you so ma, you be renew more near qualified to the next group stage.
Okay, see, and yes, my coach David Okuta coaching say a community, say a delay, gala, a pastor of BPS with me, I can kind of say, or the Sassaman, I'm coming on it to an affair, so when we say South Africa, Bayana, coach, one Ekuta Timon, a Desiree Ellis, and or in Samakra, and the Atuja says, say, ni help, and he said, a man of African Cup of Nation ever cost on what CSA postponed it, yet dear calf, a mom communicate, or see a worried, or June to say on Tessa says, he say, I'm per the phone car, you know, Oniminia, or yes, in the plus, you know, Onimisenia, a sequel, yentin in some more kind.
I think we all are in the dark. We only know what we see on social media and what we hear. And, you know, if someone is listening, if they can just give us a yes or a no. Because after the 7th, it becomes very difficult because the other dates belong to the tournament, so you can't keep the players. It's not a FIFA date where you can keep the players like an international FIFA date where it's a women's calendar date where you can play trainings like we are now because it was from the 25th to the 7th of March. After that, it's the tournament dates, and if we don't hear anything, we can't keep players because clubs can recall their players. I know other countries have already recalled, clubs have already recalled their players. Some players haven't even flown to their countries because of the uncertainty.
Tenu yesema Bayana coach and some kind of sports minister our South Africa Gilton Mackenzie and the atuja say Morocco for omunya stress almost stress nipa so mu fi say tournament no mutimi host omunka na mu fama o mindful for na omunya omutiona tobe na omu no
ready to host WAFCON because they are the brilliant AFCON. They should do so. But if they are not ready, we want to tell them we are not the country with no stadiums. We are not the country with no infrastructure. We as South Africa will never be held hostage by countries that has less than what we have. As the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, if you are not going to host, because maybe 1 or 2 other countries you can tell them they must wait for you because they don't have the infrastructure. We don't wait for no one. We will not allow women to be treated in such a fashion. We will not allow women's football to be treated. How in this day and age people are scared to say it. I'm not scared to say it. If Morocco is not going to host it, South Africa, as the Deputy Minister said, we are standing ready. Because at the end of
South Africa Sports Minister Ora Mackenzie and some of the Atujano and Ono Semi Teta, ni team Arsenal at Brighton, upon a Kaba commenting and tape, a branch of Bukayo Saka, and I said, go no Emma Nima Quinte say Arsenal League no, or more any sitting term on a 7-point gap, and at town Montem after the game no Mika Teta, Akasaka Kada for victory Arsenal and Sa Ekaino.
A surprise. I mean, you just go back for the previous games and you will find a lot of comments like this always. So.
Okay, tell me some of my cat said it is an Brighton manager, Fabien Hazela, or also it's a crowd to after the team Elusuye, Yentino.
That's what I mean, like the different kinds of winning. So if they win the Premier League, no one will ask how they win the Premier League. I think you can really feel that they do everything now to win this game, and in the end it's about the rules. So if the Premier League, if the referee allow everything, then it's difficult. Then they make their own rules. So at the moment I have the feeling they're doing their own rules no matter how they are playing. So that's why I think it's difficult to judge that. Overall, like I said, I will never be that kind of manager who tries to win in that way. I want to develop players. I want that my players are keep improving and keep playing football on the pitch. And
Huzela and some of the Tijana Enra. For the first time, Michael Carrick, Ekuta Manchester United, Ekoko Lucy, St. James Park, Newcastle United, Bomber Cameroon, and Motimo back on now. Michael Carrick, after losing the first match, Yentin Sama crowd.
Point is obviously
bitterly disappointed. It hurts that tonight. I think we definitely came here in good shape, looking to get something from the game, if not win the game. And the way it panned out, obviously, is very disappointing. There's no way of two ways about that.
See, Michael Carrick na Eddie Howard, and I Manchester United and manager Edema Newcastle, or CNC in the Kakrivi.
Did really well in the first half. I thought we were quite fluid with the ball. We were back to combining and playing as a team, playing in partnerships. So I was really pleased, apart from the last bit. I felt we deserved the goal lead at half time, and we sort of had that, and then they scored from a free kick, which I personally didn't think was a free kick either. So it was one of those days where very easy for the players at half time maybe to feel sorry for themselves, especially after the recent run we've been on. But I think there's real collective mental strength to regroup and produce.
Okay, see Eddie Howe, manager of Newcastle, and I'm former French international, Yimane Petiti, and I to just say, or Tenacity say, Obia Pese Asana Philly, Obian Pese Asana, Ebeji League in the San Senra, Asana, Vidi, and still, now man forecast Asana, Entmin League, and who say, Obia and Pese Asana, Ebeji League, and Tenra, Manchester City. At in Nottingham Forest, to Anton Selom Semenyo, as your first goal after a branch here from the Rodrigo, on a session go to my city, and a branch here from the Morgan give white as you go. Nottingham Forest, and after a branch here, Yafana Anderson, on a set go to Bakonsu, at the Episu, Emma Arsenal, Bukasa Kashabakuma Brighton, and Timanti Aston Villa, Trauma, Chelsea, Ponekanine. I want to send a team back on for Newcastle United. Shame you know Manchester United as a team back on Spain. So on me say Real Vallecano shame you some Real Ovidio as sentiment rest that Copa del Rey as back my Atletico Bilbao sentiment na fi Germany so a dia Bundesliga and Pale back on Shebakwa Hamburger SV and sentiment Copa Italia SS Lazio Atalanta ko year 2-2 and we give say course na fi France Coupe de France and also on me say Laurent and fi Nice ko year 0-0 penalty and Nice win 6-5. Almost the qualifying affair. On say Toulouse 8-2 Olympique Marseille and also 2-2 penalties and Toulouse win 4-3. Almost Eddie community Nyamia Tuma and Manchester on say Tottenham Hotspur EPN on Crystal Palace and a bit me as to Eddie Aridos on this note. Me Jirasu Nafi Bidijimedi Desi the Don and Abajafona El Crada on the job Arsenal Eddie Twasubitin Eddie Rocha Imano from the sports monarchy botela Kodifosu Teacher Manano P meeting Seminole Ediba Sabre de Jemu Don and it's when I crowd on the mo Twasu. Bye bye.
Ebo eye adwumada ebo eyam aduane ebo eyi insa free ni peduani na ebo woni pedua ma etena ho yi nanso woni say niema a yedi na ye no timi ma brebo ye adwumaden sen pote mehunda me brebo ye adwuma pa e bia se me ntumi bibi bo me brebo
ani. And wanting about the left hip from the Moses Clinic, we have also with herbal food supplements. We see to the barber, ama a year Jumayi. Fatopa Yanino, and Opani and na a Broma Berbo ye Jumayi, Seni a Baya, and Bitsy Yam a Jania Woody, and Sissy Pijanimo, a new moving singing.
And Luna me Berbo Obenya Life Kid or pharmacy, herbal shops, no supermarkets are able. So what do those way to up? Fresh 0244 06 8447. Life Kid, what would bread war? What will it be? A dream and your mapping for a ma emma or man for, make them for our 1 year in few doing. FBI GBD Cratui Atum.
Every human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596-273-546 or 0596-273-547. This advert is FDA approved.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda forma so ne yafunu emunumuni.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also yare ya titi be benfie pi na so ne yam nyono da se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa.
Nenye ni se wato ulcer tamfo Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture yanum bom kotia ulcer no bia ma no anum anka no wato no dadaada ulcer dro de eno any Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture
ankom ni nchiremu
ulcer yekura eto yefunu ene ensunu mu etima wo yefunu ekekawa wogye wo ho a enye ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko ebra wadidi awie so how eye ulcer de a kope Hexa capsules any Hexa mixture nanum bom na ho abeto
pedudu etu a ko okanshi drug lane Kumasi Dani Herbal Takradi AA Mensa Anafre 02038228855 Approve about Tanya Wama on more from for any more from women feeding you know and come Hexa capsules and in a mixture.
Ulcer time for FDA aje edwadi enkratoyi ato.
Hey unia, new release niana. Hey gum. Ebitinu was me new release. Me can no asesi fitemu ho no. Na Geopolitical Garages Limited. Akwafa besiesi amana aye nitia. Obi ase ye car mu no. Accident car no na. Geopolitical Garages Limited. Amana se gina ne naso sa no. Me si wo. Wo mo akwafa broni fita engineer afira brochiraba. En wo check cars no. Na wo hunu ba bia fault kro wo. En ho spare parts so wo de hye. Afenesi road. And so who charges kakra bi o. Geopolitical Garages Limited. We general servicing. Ebini engine overhauling, engine tuning, oven spraying, general electrical works, air condition installation work, BM, upholstery, gearbox, naked at the end. Geopolitical Garages Limited. Apart from sir, car that wotimi ato, and now Toma Wono, was signing importation of cars and who spare parts. If la butreba, Wokoto car mawa, free. Ace, also what you call Geopolitical Garages Limited. Our La Paz Malam Road. After Bayard traffic light, wah. Bibiania for 0206 48 1793 and 0542 96 1111. Website TurboTechGhana.com. Geopolitical Garages Limited. Hey, Kaya will be a benyan. Geopolitical Garages Limited. Your car beauty and the power boosters.
Official Power Independence Jackpot. Mansaka. Ghana Free. And when you made 69th Independence Day. It's Friday, 6 March 2026. On Yaza, you will wave the flag and Richard Get and no confuse Laja Kudisika. Independence Power Jackpot. 69th edition. Taylor in the big. 9 days before mobile phone. $9 star 274 hash. Select option 2. Power Jackpot. Ticket to Kubia, your 10 Ghana cedis. Into the more to tickets and no chances of winning a Susura no call. Let's see cannibal flow amodama. 9 winners, but for 690 Ghana cedis, I could fear and pay in a pabazi. Ticket to Kubia, your 10 Ghana cedis. 9 days before mobile phone. $9 star 274 hash. Select option 2. Power Jackpot. Taylor in the big.
When nations rise, it begins with bold conversations. When economies grow, it is driven by partnership. This April, Ghana's business and policy leaders converge at the Pro Business Forum 2026, the nation's premier platform for investment, enterprise, and economic transformation. With special guest of honor, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, joining captains of industry, financial institutions, investors, and entrepreneurs.
The Pro Business Forum is more than just an event. It is a call to action. And so let us work together to build a Ghana that is competitive, productive, and inclusive, and a Ghana that creates opportunities for all.
Come, let's engage in high-level dialogue, explore industry exhibitions, build powerful networks, and unlock real opportunities from finance and insurance to manufacturing, agribusiness, SMEs, and innovation. This is where it all happens. From the 3rd to the 5th of April, 2026, at the Pro Convention Center, ATBA, go to www.probusinessforum.com and register now. To register for exhibitions, call 059 555 5885 or 059 555 5995. Pro Business Forum. Connect, promote, grow.
بمدينة صور.
זה כיפות ברזל לעבר שברים. וואי.
Videos are ocean US bombings of Iran, US Israeli bombings of Iran and parts of the Middle East and Iran for also retaliate any debate and yashada jebrese yepesi eti okuna say because China and now watching America and Israel is Iran for so kon na yesi ebia ko Iran for any papa no okon ni kra de free hin na bae e de na Iran for aye da bia Iran for me wiase ayam hihye se omo nuclear reactors any nuclear missiles wo mo de ba kokra to Ghana e betumi anane Ghana asase ni nyina nanso enei America and Israel so wo mo so akun no ye hunu Iran for mo bobre e wo saa okun ni mu ana poma bi wo mo poma twede bi ahyantuma ma yenya hunu ya e ba besi and more so in all these geopolitics are ecosono. What is the role of the United Nations? Why is the UN not calling America to order? We want to understand certain things in the world of diplomacy and more so this fighter ekoswa we asese ya nhwe ya ebetumi edio how ene bre abetu wiase amama ni nyina so and anope ye kasa ansem we ni yentimi nkwati international diplomatic consultant Farouk Al-Wahab or known as Sebe wo mu nimdie no wote ase a wadi hu dwuma so paint e betumi agye ntremu kakra e de afri ne ho nti anopa de yenje brena ye ne no eni sa nkomo ne sa so ne yebebo apra akwa America yebebo apra akwa Middle East na unua bi ho no wa yam hihye a ya hwekwa befa so ebe bresa yam hihye na se yenra ana the Foreign Affairs Ministry ama enya ne ntie se omo de nhihye agu akwan mu a MPP's flag bearer Baumiane ne ho kani Samira ayam hihye anu omo dam e wo kata no yetumi ayi omo free ho e de omo copy of Saudi Arabia. These and many more on your person here abra ye engage Farouk Al-Wahab on our lines. Yes, Al-Wahab, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Na bibi aboko dey say.
Na me tumi bibi ayo okay.
Yeda se paso so ajebre se obebie yani na wa me yate ne ma bi ase afa ekun ya America and Israel for esai ewe Iran so no. Na eba ne sen anasa okun we eyiniti everywhere mu.
Well, my mencham not mentioned here for. I think that we're an ongoing, you can call it dispute. America through Israel, that is Israeli intelligence, have pursued over the years to say Israel for Iran for nuclear warheads, and I say more nuclear arsenals, and now program a bit to develop ballistic weapons. A bit more Richie, Tel Aviv, and also other parts of Israel. And this has been an ongoing thing for the past, since 1951. It is not an issue of today. 1951, this issue was prevalent. 1953, this issue was prevalent, leading to Israel for a beginning, what is called Iran for the Islamic Revolution in 1979. There has been an ongoing quality dispute, one after the other, accusations, etc. But then the wave of this very current event, Obakaya, President Obama time, Obama Iran American nuclear deal, agreement. Under the deal, no, Obama reached out to the Iranians, telling them, say, almost topple certain enrichment in Ibi. Iran proved, say, Americans, say, it was for just commercial purpose, and for their personal, as a country use, but then not for the atomic, as the Israelis or the world seeks to do. Prior to that, the European Union and the United Nations, Oma power the IA, International Atomic Agency, which is the Vienna-based of the UN office. I'm Oma Sadia we see back to back from President Clinton, back to back from President George Bush Jr., back to back Obama, back to back Lazy Joe, Trump 1, and then Lazy Joe, and then Trump 2. I'm referring to Joe Biden, said the Trump friend. Now you recall, sir, although President Trump today, even Kwano, in 2017, he was the president of the United States of America. It was just after the Obama when he assumed office. Or say, deal now Obama and Iran for rich year. It was a mere nonsense. Referring to say, how do you take Americans' money to go and strike a deal of a programmer? America cannot justify, say true, say Iran for cry or any nuclear warheads. And in his estimation, it was a corruption that Obama should have even be penalized and as a sentence for causing in Ghana reference financial harm and financial loss to the United States of America. That was 2017 President Trump talking. And President Trump decided, say, every agreement with Iran, every agreement in Iran, it was a sham. And that it was a bad negotiation. It was a bad negotiations into oil day or destroy that agreement. So in the state of the mind of you and I and the world, President Trump walked off the agreement on the table, meaning say they did not believe and there was no justification say Iran or nuclear warheads into Castle. 2018, historically, he walked off the table discussing Iran nuclear affairs. Castle completely. Now, 2020, it was campaign of the United States. Joe Biden, no Biden, no Joe Biden, and Netanyahu, because no you're pro-Israel. That time, Netanyahu was starting Hamas for Niamana. So at that time, our President Trump was on President Netanyahu today, who are collaborators, they had a problem. The problem they had was that Netanyahu was using and forcing Trump to go into Iran matter. And Trump said, no, I won't do. Why? Because, honestly, Netanyahu wanted to use America to prolong his political stay in power, referring to the fact that a country, Israel, no prime minister, I went to about 3 times. Netanyahu is the one and the only one. How is he managed to do that? Oba, anytime Diana, not the time the swan, he finds a clever way, create a problem between the Palestine Hamas and then also create a problem. Then it extends. And Israeli Knesset, which is the parliament of Israel, yet too much of what is called presidential elections, but we have parliamentary elections through the Likud party and then the Labour Party and the other party. And he said, one coalition would draw crown. As a vote of no confidence, as so we a table, no me prime minister. So Netanyahu survived Ehud Barak at the time, back to back, while Sadiano before Shimon Peres after the death of Ishaq Rabin, and obey the bar power back, and Ehud Omet Ebaye, and Osabe Bim. And in the third time, our Babano, now crisis, a friend, political upheavals related to a corrupt practicer, Netanyahu was heading to jail in Israel. But Onya Kwabena Prime Minister, the only way that he would survive was to start and foment the problem with only Arabs. But that is the catch. Hamas is the key and the root cause of Israeli bombardments, and a fight with Palestine. Why engage you 1.5 years in me? 1.5 years will come about 250,000. We have to ask, say Hamas for Nankasa as an organization, say. And then from Hamas formation of 1987, who formed Hamas? Historically, the world is aware, say, Hamas was an organization formed by Israel Mossad. Israelis, they supported Hamas to form that organization to destroy the fiber, and then the ideologies of Yasser Arafat. At that time, Yasser Arafat had been since 1967 fighting on Israel after the self-determination and two-state affair. Palestine as a state, Israel as a state. And when Yasser Arafat and the PLO, yes, before the Islamic Party, Islamia,
yeah,
and all fighting of self-determination, and Israel for turning around to form an organization within the same Palestine and part of Palestine, and create the terrorist organization, the rebel organization, the insurgents organization, the bandit organization, any form, I have friend Hamas, and the Hamas for terrorizing Yasser Arafat. And in the late 80s, Israel for Yasser Arafat, Ekunu, or Hamamet, or Tunisia. It was this same Hamas boys who are with the Israeli Mossad. And Yasser Arafat general, so no one survive here, and a Tunisia for the year. And the Israeli on their own, declared him a world fugitive. So now, Hamas had been in bed with Israeli Mossad. And to exercise in the course where Clinton by in the 90s, 93, our victim broke a deal between Yasser Arafat and then Ishaq Rabin, the biggest handshake in Camp David. Who broke a deal, no? Now, Israeli authorities, Israeli Prime Minister Ishaq Rabin, at here, say Israel and Funny State, not Palestine and Funny State, not to be out to. So in no time than when they were about to cement the final agreement in 2020, 1994, 1995. At that time, that was Tel Aviv. It was a rally. And Israeli hardliners, which Bibi Netanyahu, Ariel Sharon, any other Israeli prime ministers are now Omoniye Likud Party hardliners are no more agreement in, and no more draft Yigal Amir, a 25-year-old boy Liga, a law student, and Otimi Ekum Yishak Rabin, and shattered the dream of the state affair, in the 1994. And having done that, and Ekoba say agreement to two-state affair, it got blown on the face of President Clinton. And Clinton manages situation, Israel in Palestine war, Kaka, and unfortunately, 9 years after the death of Ishaq Rabin and Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat, after the death of Yasser Arafat, Israel had relied on Hamas, thinking that Hamas were not going to give him power for Israel now to assume authority and rule. There wouldn't be any Palestinian on the table or two-state affair. And Hamas fought against Israel. So, power and more. And two-state in the that was the genesis of their fight. Meanwhile, before Hamas, the headquarters, not at on PLO, Yasser Arafat, the headquarters was in Qatar. And the headquarters in Qatar, Israeli government through the Mossad intelligence team, now almost sponsor Hamas, our Qatar. At that time, America, United States of America, or America or Israel, they've been allies forever. America had a base in Qatar. Israel was an ally of Qatar in the Middle East. How can Israel be a member, a friend, and then an ally of Qatar? Now, America, one of the biggest friends our Mediterranean, Arabian Peninsula is Qatar. America will be so. Israel, Qatar, Then, surprisingly, Hamas, in headquarters. Isn't it strange? So Israel will be friend to Qatar and knows Hamas or America is friend of Qatar and knows Hamas or at that time, there was no problem between Israel and Hamas. And in that, going forward, and Hamas will be a radical leader. And I'll start to say, training now, Modiamayeno, the very to train him. In the end, say, now we say, is there any intelligent community in the world? Not the M16 of the UKs, not the K9s of the Germans, not the Brazilian Hawks, not the American CIA, not the FBI, not any intelligent, not Scotland Yard, not any intelligent community in the world that were yes smart, share Mossad. How was Hamas able to Israel, Ukraine, Jerusalem, West Gaza, how were they able to do that? Because only need any equipment, because only need a seaport. Seaport is controlled by Israel. And to me, equipment, and two tunnels. These tunnels was what Hamas was using to destroy Palestine. Was the Yasser Arafat movement? That was what they were using. But no one in the boys and also people be accountable. Now the issue now became said. At that time, not Iran we were Israel an ally. Iran we no America an ally. 1953, no America an ally Israel, Iran. 1951, no America. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Go and check how President Mossadegh, the Prime Minister Mossadegh of Iran, how he was overthrown. Let them go and read the history. Americans and British M16 CIA, Pahlavi, and the revolution, 82, your friend is saying, Mossadegh. And Mossadegh was the first democratically elected president of the Islamic Republic of Iran. They have a sound government like you and I, and like what America and Israel claim to be happening. That was out in the state of Iran. 1951, American forecast said they like and they prefer Iran as an ally at that time. Oil companies, private companies, oil, and Mossadegh, the democratically elected president, said no. Every oil company there what Iran government in the Nisato so. It won't to say the nationalize it, Roma to Roma market because the world, they are the third biggest oil producing nation in the world. And American forecast no yen tiasie. And Romon tiasie no, and Romco recruit you a Pahlavi, Reza no buy no, and obey a hard line. Prime Minister, very hard line. Iranians, in support and also denationalize all the petroleum companies, in the America and UK and the foreign allies, and on obey a hard line. So in another breath, a democratic government of Iran was removed and put up a dictator by the West. And he ruled Iran with hard iron hands, leading to that, and the Islamic revolution. Omia revolution, and the two, Pahlavi, a government in Fiho. And the first constitution of Iran. And Ayatollah Khomeini as a spiritual leader in the Siho, and Nombenya presidents. And during the time of the Islamic Revolution in 1979, Omubasati Womu a constitution 81. Ayatollah Khamenei, this one Obakuno, one the president of Iran, and an Ayatollah Khomeini, the supreme leader of Iran. And these people for the past 30-something years, and decided say, even though bad, but they will stabilize the economy. At that time, Iran, the bitterest enemy was not the Arabian states. The bitterest enemy was Saddam Hussein, Iraq. Who supported Iran to fight Iraq? America, Israel. They were the people who supported Iran and Iraq war. And Iran-Iraq war in 1981, around 88, 89. At that time, Ayatollah Khamenei and another president, Iran was at the mercy of Saddam Hussein. And then this period, they were supporting Iran against Saddam. And Saddam bufu yen wako gas chamber or gassy woman. 3,000 one day she woman with gas. And then America for a day. And then Iran and Tokwa, Iran and the Iraq a true trial. A true trial, no. Now Iran for not take a stand after the revolution, no say. The American for crown, yeah, would the and Tiana better baby, and America turned around. Acquire the support of Saddam Hussein. So Saddam also at a point became a strong ally of the United States of America. Look at the switch. Straight one. And against Iran. And then the Iran Islamic Revolution, did the Islamic Revolution Guard Corps, IRGC, ABC Hawk. And when they created the Islamic Revolution, Guard Corps in UVA, and also started to say, we will be hard. And we are saying, yes, so hard. Yes, I understand. How do they start managing and then sponsoring what the Americans accuse is what? Terrorism, which is bad for any government to do that. But not notwithstanding, when Hamas, base Qatar, Iran, no a Qatar friend, America, or a Qatar friend, Israel a Qatar friend. In the Hamas for na a sponsor woman, Iran sponsor, no more sponsor ma woman, West for na no sponsor woman. In the Hamas no a baby Iranian baby, and Israel for Yahweh, saying you're getting together. In the time now, you be we no, Sarafat be we na Hamas started so on Israel kono, and now Iran started say, now Hamas for na raise arms, so we do protect Islam. Chadian boys in here, terrorists in there now, no. After the independent, you protect Islam. And then the ma Ayatollah Khamenei, a homini, or no better than ever support to say the cause of Islam protection and guidance and blah blah blah. Announcing geologists, at this status will sponsor Hamas. And we see another one called Hezbollah.
Yeah.
Hezbollah, that is terrorist or group. Sorry, a group fighting for the cause of Allah. And BC, Lebanon. Into that time, the real fight between Israel and the Arabs was not Iran. Israel-Arab fight, what is an Israeli-Arabian fighter? Nay, Syria against Assad. Nay, Jordan against. And nay, Egypt. Because Israel, or Egypt, Jordan, and then Syria, boom, trade. And no more until say United States President Jimmy Carter, the most peaceful among all of them, on the best stop our war without dropping one bomb, because one streamers be a monabeti semi kokuntoka namajidin as an American president to have a batch of a streamer. Why be into any water among those a government that they stop here. Into Israel stopped. One Alexandria bet, one Egypt in Tokani in Atuchai, ever came there. One Jordan, Smoku, peace pipe. But only Syria there, they never, up to today, no mean fine. Until said recently, another terrorist organization, related to Taliban, related to Daesh, ISIS, Israeli CIA intelligence, help woman to Assad Bano, meaning said they were preparing. Bibi Netanyahu was incubating Iran. Say, so ne Hamas no kumwie na Bibi no hobium. This will come 250,000 Palestinians. And what is there to kill again? What is to clean? What is there to destroy? And then he has to return to Israeli parliament because the constitution of Israel has said that. So one gun, single gun, you can't run elections. And to avoid the operation of Hamas, internet will find a way. Now the issue, President Trump now on records or say he will not commit one U.S. troop, one U.S. army, one U.S. resources, and farm court and supporting Netanyahu, and non farm court Iran and Kokun. And no troops out of America, no budget on America in defense against anything that is not American. And Koban is saying, so in a surprise turn, Bibi Netanyahu, me Emma, convince President Trump. And then the 2023 elections of the United States, bringing Trump to. That was the focus and the vocal point of his campaign. Said all the wars Obama, all the operations Obama, and they were senseless operations. They are not because they were not good negotiators. That is why the Iranians were adamant. And you will negotiate without throwing one single gun in Japan, saying, and that was what it was hailed by the whole America. Because American soldiers go no a she family, a she the country, And everybody hailed him, and then go to 2024, 2025, Kwabena the president. And where did it happen? But then American Constitution allowed United States president to have what is called a military operation or military action without American Congress and then without American Senate approval. And the operation because Operation 1, Okoche Maduro. That was military action. Because Obama also invoked Military Action Act and Wadukokum Saddam Hussein. Our your friend said Abu Tabat in Pakistan. Also called against international law, also against international airspace. And Wadiko Raho, Ekokum Saddam. Were you operation? Operation does not last a day, 2, 3. Were you in Juma? Until nobody expected President Trump, Ekoyo Maduro operation, they say you and I, Venezuela Maduro, and Tim Wasembi.
Yeah.
What is fair? Because Okoyo operation, we have near prosecutors, LBP case, prefer charges against him, and the number 2 broken. That's very fine. That's U.S. government, U.S. president using the authority of what? A veto power to exercise the military operation action. And to Iran, the other day, nobody expected because they started negotiations. And surprisingly, the International Atomic Agency negotiations, and one President Trump said, prepare deal in Famra. So they were like, what deal? Montremra, Monfa declare weapons. No, this is something that we are handling with the world. UN, with the European Union, with other partners, stakeholders, and Yamonkwa, also there be for deal Nebra. Okay, other countries came, first country to come in the Qatar. And also, America said, no, you enough. And of course, Iran from prepare and Oman so free woman. And some quiet, and ye storm it, and Switzerland so free woman. American negotiators, no, Monkoya Dilmra. And nobody expected this. But then to bring you back was the 12-day military operation via Netanyahu, needlessly, in my view, that is the basic causes of this. Acquire 12-day operation via or the core Iran, Tehran, Ekokum Ismail Ania, Ekokum Nasrawa, Ekokum Sinwa, Ekokum, all those negotiators Hamasa, now non Netanyahu, and no more Adrengi, Esoto, Omo negotiate, solve that issue, Okohokum, so there were no negotiators. And the Israeli for na call, Atayan ally, and Oko Bombo, Hamas for headquarters. And then the anger, Ebaya, Iran also started here, also retaliate here, and 12-day operation. Only a 12-day operation. President Trump, and Lucas is a peacemaker. Surprisingly, Bibi Netanyahu Nyadoyeno, Ajobro, and Umjaye. In no time from July last year, just beginning of this year, Maduro operation, only for us to know, he said, American negotiations with Iran. About UN Kahun, any other part of HAE, their friends, stakeholders in Iran Kahun. Yahoo America, what is called the historic build-up. What is historic build-up? Anytime we say USS Abraham Lincoln and move out from Virginia waters or Hawaii waters or maybe it will be Alaska and any place that they are, that's what headed towards Middle East. Then they did that in only 2003 or 2001 when Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. And we move here. When I say Gerald R. Ford, USS R. Ford also move. And these are carrying the Americans' most biggest overseas operation fleets. They don't move it without fighting. They don't move it without an operation. So the world was like, okay, maybe they were using it to intimidate Iran, now to give them the whole secret, everything of their weaponry, so that President Trump will be triumphed as a peacemaker to that extent. They won't say USS Cole. That is also another striking fleet. And so origin more. Into all America put their bases in the Middle East on alert. Where are their bases? Saudi Arabia is their station biggest base. Then Qatar, then Oman, then Bahrain, and then UAE, United Arab Emirates. SSO was put on alert. So what is happening? So the Iranians were wondering, and then they were meeting Americans. They didn't anticipate anything, but then the surprise thing to the world that some of us knew, say, America will not move Giraford and then Abraham Lincoln and the USS Cole in the region, no Makoko Salitu, because the two fleets alone carries as many as 40,000 troops on the vessel. Think of it. Yes,
Nipa be 40,000 no mu osuo ni so.
40,000 strong contingent on the American vessels, and on our 12 extra vessels. Ebi wo Bahrain, ebi wo Bahrain, ebi wo Oman waters, the Gulf of Oman. Now be watch here. Iran on the interface the Middle East, on the border, on the sea border. It is the Persian Gulf, which the Iranians call it Persian Gulf. Arab side, the Oman, Gulf of Oman, and I said the Arabian Sea. Into countries one in what direct border, Bahrain, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Oman, one in what direct border, and then the north, one in Iraq or border, and Iraq, any Syria or border, and a Syria, any friends, Israel our border. So Israel hasn't got an easy accessor. Nanko betimako akofa Tehran because let's say you see the frontline Arab states, entry. I don't know you see the bombo 12 days operations, because that are not Assad, no yanko. Now fast forward, American contingent and now share the sea, which is the Persian Gulf, and they divide you over the south, over Arabian Sea. Over on the right, over Mediterranean, Red Sea, Mediterranean, and then the Red Sea. That's over Egypt, Abefa, Djibouti, Yemen, Asia, and about the far North Africa. Into that area, an American will base Yemen, only Yemen, so no, what guided where Yemen and Saudi Arabia, so Yemen come for the past 10 years. As the Saudi Arabia as an American ally. In the region, they won't do that. USS Cole na one and BC. But America shifted USS Cole no headed by the Persian Gulf. Meaning say you origin USS Cole na Alford na Abraham Lincoln also there. One of them, the US destroyer na isi Bahrain no and unko our 90 jet fighters. 90. 40 Iran and a 40 to protect their region. And Sana interceptors. Hardcore interceptors and across all these frontline states.
Missile interceptors, as I'm now okay.
Yes, missile interceptors.
Just say, to pie and the neighbor, and no never saw to pie in Wimu. Yeah, and maybe
Israel wanted there. America build you Qatar, or build you Oman, or build you all the frontline states, or build you Kuwait, or build you Honina. As a cover for one an American military presence.
Now, Pacho, why would all those states around, the Gulf, allow US to use their territorial waters for setting up these bases? Is it the fear of Iran in Tianam?
Okay, no, there was no fear of Iran. Iran had been very nice with the neighbors. But when then the story was created out there, say, more military arsenals.
Yeah.
More warheads, more nuclear. No? The impression was created that one day, Obeyisu on the neighbors. No, we can do that. But the fact said, more Islamic, strong or stubborn government in India, America created that impression. And no susuntino, more oil interest or region, more who say, Mumini army, the Kataba, Qatarian population in 1.2 million. Real Qatarians near 250,000, 750,000, 850,000. Nepalese, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Koreans, India, Southeastern Asians, and they make it up the population up to 1.3 million and the 250,000 Qatarians. Now, what about UAE? UAE, the population, about just 10%, 15%, and Arab Emirates. Omar Kanina, Pakistan, India, Sudan, and the former. The story is not different. Kuwait, Kuwait, for. The Kenya, Sudan, and the Republic, your friends, the Kingdom of Kuwait. In the America, all along, because of at that time aggression of Saddam Hussein, suspectedly blah blah blah, and the building or military. In the agreement, understanding, declaration, and then whatever you call it between America and the other Arab nations. And to answer your question, say, were they allowed? And they didn't break any international law. No. Okay. The countries freely, yes. Agreeably, yes. And America has a large presence of their troops guiding Saudi Arabia, especially when the impression was created, say, one day Iran and Iraq, who were notorious in the mind of Americans, about the book Mecca, Kabana Twachne. In China, Saudi is also out of panic. And they have been an ally of the United States government since 1946 when they had the Saudi Arabia and American declaration. As in our time, now we are partners. In the American soldiers in the Guam, won't go forever. So now if you look at the location of Saudi Arabia, on only Iran, any border, only frontline state anymore. On who was our frontline state, Nechi. And Iran doesn't know what the other side interface in the Middle East. The back, Pakistan. The back, Afghanistan. The back, your friends, Azerbaijan. And Anesro, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kurdistan, Awanechi, and then the border Asia. And to one on this area, Iran is a vast country, very huge, with a big population running 200 million. The next population is bigger, our territorial Arabian Peninsula. In Saudi Arabia, over 80 million. The countries now can be population 1 million, a be population 1.2, a be population 2 million. And there are small pocket of countries we are very rich. And American forces will be kind of watch you on the or control. Why not? U.S. interest. They have to be.
Now, Mibo, that's not Iran. It's me echo bomb. U.S. embassy or Riyadh in Saudi Arabia.
Iran. The missiles, and Iran consistently have warned that if any of the Arabian countries are or peninsula or border and so allow America to use, and Israel was using those countries' territoria to blast. What does it mean? What does it mean? U.S. base, Israel for baby they are far from Iran. So if Israel is to fly direct to Iran, by the time of Bedroom, Turkey started the northern part of Syria to enter to Iraq, the northern part of Iran. And Iran is so large. So to fly from Iran north and come to Tehran, which is in the midpoint, it will take Israel a lengthy and a very quiet number of hours. And rather than Israel was also operating from the frontline states, i.e. Qatar, Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, and then also, how do we call it, Saudi Arabia. So the Iranians warned them, say, you are my neighbors. I've not had an issue. They are my brother Muslims. Why do you allow America and Israel to use your base against me? And this is a provocation. Therefore, in their mind, their justification is also that if you allow a fight, then I throw stone. Wherever the stone came from, I must also throw stones to that place. That was why they've used, since Saudi Arabia is using their territory for America and Israel, I don't know, started say, but interestingly, once Iran were building drones more than any other country in the world.
I see.
Not Russia. China no open up. And the next country the world does not know is South Korea. We don't know their drones a year or more. In Iran, the America themselves are aware. Israel is aware, say, when Russia-Ukraine war, almost every drone Russia using comes from Iran. So Iran has a lot of them. Now, something called, say, Iranian possibly have decentralized or military capacity and capability because I don't suspect and think that they were stupid to keep everything in Tehran. No. because the country is so large. And almost back, eastern border, at the back, no facing Asia. No, I want in mountainous areas. And then under the mountains, and that is where they are hiding most of their military bases. And then they create what is called decoy and dummy bases. What does it mean? They can create a place like Dansoman, big. So in the air with surveillance and then reconnaissance secret flights, they will see the town as a military base. Then they build detonators, grenades, etc., something that can inflame. So when the enemies are in the air and they drop it, they know that they've destroyed a full military camp. Our Iran. Into the aversion and the attention goes there. Say Israel, like Americans said, they are destroying the military bases, which to them very nice. But then surprisingly, the Israelis and Americans are shocked how still these people are able to deploy in thousands of what is called drones in the air. So when the American and Israeli detonated, interceptors, very expensive enough, chasing those drones, they are chasing drones that doesn't cost more than $20,000. With a drone that costs over $5 million. So you see what they are drawing them into. So they are drawing America to chase their dummy drones. Then they are using the proper one to land.
I see.
Yes, this is what they are doing. But everybody knows that America and Israel combined, no air force can handle them. But the reality of the matter is that they are very air superior. Undoubtedly, Israel is perfect. And even most of the operations, the area operations, Israeli troops in the area, and American troops. But now it has reached a critical stage because President Trump decided to have, say, an operation. So about operation to be swift and swift. So he had thought, say, to be about 5 days, 2 days. That is what U.S. president can act. Now it is a week on Saturday. The trouble is not even going hard because the Iranians, upon the killings of all their generals, including Ayatollah Khamenei, Ali, still, now they don't know where these people, their deployment and the drones, air-free, airback. So it has become an extended conflict. And then coupled with the fact that the Iranians are targeting the Arabian Peninsula, all the countries, American bases, to bring pressure to bear on America. And let us not forget, say, the cost of area fight is very heavy. So now what does America do with the 40,000 troops? So at a point, they have to enter on the ground. Where would they enter? They can only enter through what? Through Iraq. But if it has to be the entry point of the West now, the Persian Gulf, they cannot enter because the U.S. soldiers are not good on ground fight. Anything about President Trump, actually, I saw the Kestama, British Royal Army, into a secret obey the air base. What does it mean? Or you do air base, Iran for hitting the British air base to provoke and anger the British to come in because when it comes to ground fighter, it's only the British and the France, the Spain and the Italians, they can support America as NATO members. But in this case, Keir Starmer is very careful because that cost President Tony Blair, his presidency, his prime ministerial, went to following George Bush to do the same thing in Iraq. Or use the Royal Army or Basra, any Omukunye. Now the fight, the real fight is beyond the 5 weeks President Trump then they have to do what is called, they have to elevate. They move from now military operation to military invasion. How do you invade? So the invasion, you need that approval from U.S. Congress. So if in case they will not be able to get approval for military invasion there, then Iran will be strong enough because the monies and then the interceptors, the ICBMs is costing United States. So as you speak yesterday, American President Trump, Congress or parliamentary approval, Congress approval for what is called contingency budget. In the beginning of January, in the beginning of March, U.S. President is back to come and collect money to support, which it will be a difficult exercise. So now the Iranians, I know, or in my view, said they want to push the America now to come up with an invasion because after the fall of President leaders Ayatollah, the Americans started saying, say, they should start. The locals should start a fight and take the government. And that resonates with what they did in 1951, what they did in 1953, when they brought Reza Pahlavi. Palai. That is what they did. They made them and they fought with each other, and then the Sunnis and the Shias and all the time tribal. But this time, unfortunately, for America and Israel, the Sunnis and the Shias, the Houthis, in Iran, they didn't support the idea regardless of the fight of what is going on. So America would have relied on, together with Israel, say, the locals will now move in and it becomes an open fight, and then the government will be toppled. Unfortunately, it hasn't happened like that. So America is very nervous. Israel is very nervous that they needed the population to support the uprising and the engagement of the Americans, and it has not happened like that.
All right.
So what does it mean? What it means is that now you have to move from military operation to invasion. And when it comes to invasion, the Iranian Islamic Revolution Guard Corps, they know their country. They open an access for you, enter, they catch you back and free. Because even Iraq did a little bit. But the Iranian army is so big. Iranian army is one of the biggest in the world. And they have a lot of weapons. And they want to draw America into invasion. And then invasion will lead them to war. Is America prepared to go at war in Iran? Now, interest me say, what are they going to change? So if America now want a regime changer, the regime and change here, the population and take arms against the government. They are whipping up the enthusiasm, but at the end, and they say no Takwano, Uber used to area bombardments in at the point we have supplied them because Kenny Hall. So now America, I say, no produce balance weapons. We take longer because America could have sophisticated one and yet 2 months in the building. But Iran want to make build a drone within 1 day. Not drone in a million. And it has become a huge cost of exercise. All in the good name of Bibi Netanyahu forcing America into this this trap.
Alaji.
And the interest, yes, sir.
Sorry to cut you, but for the sake of our airtime and our airspace, we've done like 45 minutes now. Nami percent Kanyami Adumechna. Yeah, part 2 of this conversation where we'll be looking at whether say it will escalate into where possibly Russia, China will join, North Korea, threats, and even here in Africa. Is there the potential, say, America might also have some interest in some states in Africa, to me attack Africa, and then the Strait of Hormuz now, the pipeline.
The pipeline is the sea belt.
The sea belt, very well, thank you, sir.
The Persian belt is not a pipeline.
Good, yes.
That's where all the oils may free the Mediterranean, so the Yemen south, and they call Europe. Far north, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and a far Asia, Indian Ocean, and the Asia supply. And that is the edge, the border, the sea border between Oman and then between Oman and Iran.
Beautiful.
And that side goes deep into Iran. So Iran has more upper hand. Iran is under it. Oman is under it. And Iran, they are controlling that belt.
Okay,
so it's difficult now to block.
All right, so next can Iran also take the fight to America? Because now it's like the fight is within the Middle East, but Iran
they cannot.
They cannot.
No. Now the missiles cannot reach America. That reach they don't have.
All right.
The country we don't know their reach is China, Russia, and North Korea. Because Russia has a border with America in Alaska.
Yeah.
So Russia is close to America. What Russia will not fight. China, for your information, even though we do part 2, if I have the time and I have the stomach to do that. Russia and China have been a very peaceful ally. They would never, no matter how, they will talk diplomatically strong words, support Iran in West. But when it comes to fight, China does not lose. They don't want to lose what they've gained after the experience of the Second World War when they supported the West. They supported America, supported Britain, supported France, supported Europe to fight against the German Nazis of the Nazis power. That Nazis power, Italy, which is today American ally, was an enemy of America. They fought for Hitler Ethiopia fought for Hitler. Japan fought for Hitler. So when after the Second World War now, China echo back. Now Japan should call back. Japan was for Hitler and China was for America. Japan was signing to China, so destroying China. It was a witcher, and then they give you the birth of China Communist Party. Say we are saying Yamadia, you better concentrate. That brought Chairman Mao 50-year development partner at China bedroom.
All right. Mamina was sent pay for the education and information. That's international diplomatic consultant and historian Farouk Al-Wahab. You better not see no pay pa. But Mami Famunko Dubai, within the Middle East. Now share situation currently on the ground. Ghana for woho ye obi esu naniwa ye benyanka ya dehye woho nyina bafie ekosi so okono ebewie nene ete won saying Aluku J Ghana ni a or Bonibra ewo Dubai ye ni nkomo enano pay britiawa. Yes, Mr. J, good morning. That's saying
good morning, my boss.
Nyamia dum bibia boko na uye safe there.
Oh, my boss, me safe. You said a normal coming down. We do start now come and you first video.
But you know, Kasa, 8:37 a.m. in the morning, Ghana. Abosa or Dubai.
About 12:37 p.m. Dubai.
Oh, nature say, Anajo, Sumunamu is to say.
That is PM.
PM. Oh, okay, area. All right.
37 p.m. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, okay, me that say. Konisha sia no, one who topa ye ni bi, e wo ani so.
Hey. Narubi, edika menchia wo, na me mo abaso. Na menchia wo ti for mo hwe ani o TV as well as any power FM na. That's it. Chance last week Saturday, and in CSA. Wow, that's it. We not yaji boom na a month for Johnny. It was on Sunday. Now I'm not telling about no beer. So I see because only baby will get near. Then so, Nam said, you depends on what my boy is, on which you boy intensity. Didn't know that couldn't. Kakran couldn't be better. Okay, I had a big one big base. So an amount for videos, name, pictures, executing very baby AI. Now, Mwa, and you know, okay, almost Emma, no man, of course, no. Now, which miss you on them. Though, be by idea, but said an anchor. Yes, we said, baby, she am idea, yes, who is out river. Nani a modern Dubai, Air Force defense, or motivated good outcome into the money bus. And they don't. One of the best countries are, as we have all the country because of the almost system, almost a proper system, like Casa, you will be. You can't and no my didn't grow a team power. You will be into a mono. Almost every time almost prepare almost say the beer and because of say I wouldn't know my papa good outcome, you know. The papa whereby Nani say Iran any US war and now or more any Iran common topper. Now the summer UAE any Gulf countries ever Nani say according to a report which I said Iran reported to him said a quarter money Israel walk on. America, Panama, actually. America, bonus over Gulf countries, yeah. Maybe it's a Qatar, Oman, Bahrain, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. And I just more military zones. Maybe Atsana. And Iran, following the say, you live in 9 Gulf countries. In my say, never the say now. Your town for no Mumba Victorasa ever put here in the side here, and you also went here. Then, Dubai, Nikata, ever for the now and say, America, military base, the Vietnam, Omode, Asoleta, Iran for. And say, me and so to buy Uncle America there. And then more American base, no one, any cancers here, no, said they are, or Mako, the Omode face here, no, a bit here about from Assembly na so kwani na the block bench ado friend na no and I make a opinion the don.
Good. So Jay Boyen baby omo toto pa ne ba no omo target American bases and as other civilian installations in no omo bomb those areas no.
Yeah, initially seven go say but if you actually know na video we Saturday and Sunday na baby no man focus na money make a phone na about the same Dubai and that's obi o to Dubai be no muti e dey be for this and I know how be na go go be NCS ah o na military base in Kano e bi enko ho so so go to na o pe no afa ho base o be be say dia Pam Jumeirah one of the most essential area of Dubai ha ona sikapele na o group hotel that say na o the group ba ko homa hotel ba ko kind of Fairmount I just get me go to more na enye nyai eno chi no obenya Jabal Ali so ona o post kese ba ko e ho so e bi fa ho e me ko se no no gakra ena ko so oba e be bi se e ko bi se sunabo e ho so ba e bi fa ho e me ho so e ko se e fi bi o wa na ha ji because someone only and there's American business now say ya tuko ho ngwai na watu na wasa one shot go listen so one as to for bia say any answer be bia dia na ya dia ni ntwai eno ti the no amam go bia cassette ya amam go bia cassette ya sa dia iro for ni ya ya dia ntwai say obi se be bi onu ni asem na we dey ja to pa ye edugu ni so na ya dia ntwai ko anti no e say me no go say eno ma calm down ade ba ko na ye higher and I think ever corner ever not flight no into move but okay Saturday and Sunday dia living kokra but Monday no almost Saturday no me na come na eko mako ba ko Tuesday no so na eko ka but okay and now Wednesday and we have two boy no na you was a flight na fit move go omu many na to o my limited Emirates one on fly Dubai Arabian and it's here for them. Or my limited if you call but you be unlike seconds now. Every 3 minutes if you are on flight 82 from Dubai International Airport. Echo another destination, no. This time and they say the bed no probably 6 the big people when all the airlines in the handle now, the lines of Fly Dubai, every airline you have okay airlines and then the friend of us 6 more than 30. It means more expanded, more beautiful. On the 7th, 11:59 p.m. Even on the 8th, no, and I'm get to number the place, no. I'm just saying that it's not such outreach. I'm going to get my conquer. Then more you are by so 7 by and bomb to finish. I just said, Bano, a banner bomb, okay. Oma we are panicking. We have clear about the communication, but we have access to message. No quabonting, upon air defense, want to say, you might say, almost to be bounty, Obian and stay home, Obian still a war. We no more updates, and one, am I enjoying the Emma Meto, a yet to me, so. If you want to say, a banner, so, your banner, beside that, also, one hour over your sunset after Dubai airport. And now back out when you abandoned aviation in Como, and the airlines and the Casa, say, Ubia over people Dubai airport, Ubia, all your transit, over Pudma, stranded Vianum, or more Casa, Memon Babiata, or Memon Babiata, I will make your this alcohol say, if you met Nazi, you'll be a convey. Abandoned say, you got 20,200 now, no miles stranded, no, abandoned us over Fahuka, any airlines in the car. The idea of what amount for you. I see. One of my books, one of my friends, Ubia Silva, but I say, of course, so far, they record 3 deaths, income some, and actually a free non that minute say, anybody in something, and it's no free. I guess Baku free Pakistan, Baku free Nepal, and Baku free Bangladesh. And I'll be a great panel as well. I say, we are minor injuries, and injuries, I know 7 to 8 plus over. I report that. And if you say, you have Ghanaian citizens here and what you can, and since like by in other countries, Africa countries, Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, and Uganda, Mama Karina, Bifri, Azerbaijan, Bifri, Afghanistan, Lebanon, and Philippines, and Pakistan, Iran, for another so, Omugo for you, Omugo Tiaka, and Yasin, but that's it. Obviously, but I can't say. I witnessed a year, so bomb be there. And that Sunday, me who dreaming, let me come in the say, a GLC, young Pukana, and yet no money, Kaka fire, they don't know how to use it, and they buy. So, because I was a done of one, you see, the word war, and yet the papa, the word and quote, say, so say, that should be a local Ghana, that should be a local Africa. They don't make a change, but also we need to because the word war, a idea, and we was in it to be a Kabi, a pure, and yeah, the papa, I was there also. And so far, I remember to say, Ghanaian citizens, the wine now, everyone is okay. Bolivians will be in why I said the one car, will be in prayer. So far, buses, Juma, Trade, Juma, I pay taxes, Juma. Hospitals, Juma. The only schools, almost cruising. Say, on the 9th, on Messiah LBM, you see the schools pay beside that, no other institutions will be a Juma. Yeah, I can say, the bread Juma did be one against it. Not tension, no, Saturday, any Sunday, but from Monday, every man. Idea mama about for you here. Regards in India coming down. The only year you're seeing now, and American based here, I Dubai, and my medicine Babu Fowl, and my Gabu Towa. Self defense, one, really civil defense, one, and which me everybody is needing Benton. Apart from that one, no, any Fairmount, Palm Jumeirah, you see any Jebel airports, if you go to one. Good one, intersection, or human, and me, work for you. And tell me that defense, no. You got the done, oh my idea, or it's a no more, if you can even know, and get that and move on.
Matias, Pamcho, your friend Aluku J, or yeah, and some training, your cousin report be a comprehensive, one more senior, Womupa Asia. This is one of such, your Bonabaso. Now, look, Sanya, who can say, I will go Dubai, I buy an Abasu, and that's a dear. When your wife is out, but few cry, oh, my mom, friend.
Oh, almost friend is your book. I say, almost say, I'm not friend. Now, most of the members, catch a muse, and Yadia, because every Monday, even I believe about what is a Monday, you know, Kuma, Zigatra, and the don, I never qua. I'm a business wise. I'm a business for the talent of as a man to me, not could be brave because almost say, oh, bay, you see, I know obey the day, and she only idea they had me. Even for a motor to pay the but don't know Dubai, most of the shops are, or would you go, I would, yeah. If you're going to say, I'm not going to like I said, including Iran citizens, like I said, because how about shop problem is Iran shop, Iranian shop. My establishment, almost 2 years, almost at your if you say, I say, oh, can't be the best. You know, every same thing will be actually condemned. I'm not saying no more coming down. See, the only thing I ever is that flights, you know, or making the Arizona. That's all you say. You know, I'm for more flights than the other. I'm airlines, the idea. It is not wrong. When you say that assembly see and between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, no, now I'm going to say, another flights in complexing, man, and my which will lose you best 5 million answer against the Kitwa. It's no more for more airlines in the other, and their airlines living to be man. Almost the idea how we
okay. I look okay. Nanka made that. we mami, yes.
See, they can say, and they are say, no, ever for me, no, say, you in Penfono, or money in a casa, so we have Bob to ban now, or Mumu Yasen. A banner show me say, you are better show me say, and you are not television, and the yard, and I will be able to tell you, oh, yes, I believe that, and you are slow, say, and no more goes to Gano, or Oma be the uncle to Gina as you be.
All right. My enda ye aluku je ase aluku ye bedo ase pa na na wahwe hunsu ye so ede amayen sabre ya ye ni mo bra ekon no ebetwa ene when the next bomb will fall, but that's aluku je, a Ghanaian resident in Dubai. Majina we so na fi madani me ho aba me ba. Still a lot more to come from a year this war. And of course, here in Ghana, Yebedin Komo, Ewo Dwaboase Jumedin, so Shanin so such now, Ghana's 69th independence. Na Yebusasa Ghana, where is our might when it comes to our defense? Young Komra Yeba Yebetu Aswamamum.
Atiefo ni ahwefo nyina enenso yemfa enchastronko emfi True Word Pharmaceutical Company Limited emamo yakase True Word Pharmaceutical Company Limited mama yena yakra enura hodo edifree India edi abedu Ghana mu ama FDA for aye nhwehwemu edi afa yenu no nyina ho agya to mu se yenu no eye papa ntino Ghana for emfansa wo mo yare enura True Word Pharmacy edi abadwaman so no nyina no eye India hahama ene yakeka bom edi aye abandro ya eni susanso boni bia na bibia ye ka kyerem se yasue hono no yemfa aduro baako ense yare mienu anase miensa yenu no baako bia esa yare baako na nnemeje brani adaje na yedi nkomo ede afa emema ene ema ho esanse Ghana emema no dodo na na ebre ehu amane ewo kete so enu nti na ene True Word Pharmacy yepese yeje bre na yene mudi nkomo kakra mepa acho wo ye bema na wo ye mre wo kete so anase wo ntime mo adwuma wo kete so wo na oba hyiam na sisi ya uhu esane wa mepa acho yi waso meti emiyi enye ensanom na enye enu obi a sabi aphrodisiac ewo mu a ebema wutra pa wo na ho aye hyehyeshi yewo India duro wo ho a ye frɛ ni May 40s May 40s na eye India hama ene yakeka bom ede ayesa abando ya wonuma eninsunso boni bia na uye bema na sabio stress ene enemu yare ne enema bi ama waye mre ewo kete so a me patcho bomodi asa obema osaka May 40s ni bi May 40s ene da TV screen so no enura ye de aba Ghana mu ama edi mema asem ede ema omo uye bema na sabi obema na afo aye ketekete a ema emusan yedu abeko a edi ahoden sonko eba mu bema de ewo se oche omema asem ewo empa so enti uye bema na waye mre wo kete so a woni mento nchia na hwehwe May 40s echi akwan me pacho ukoda nwumre bia asima aduasa 30 minutes ansa na obekọ kete so no odi efa ba koma me na ade echi a wabo modin afre ye number na ede screen so no odi asede manyame no na odi asede ni bi ma True but from True Word Pharmacy na me pacho yenuanom man so a mutie yenya mumu me pacho uyoba na wutie me na sabi umensese na emaye eba oti pains ewo wahimfi honom the normal days ewo se odi bu nsa no wuntimi ebu nsa sa oba wuntimi enyinsen onyinsen ana afi esanse hormones na ewo ebemu watokosua every month na ahodin bia enimu me pacho bomodin ase obaji yedu aye friend Ladyfort uko TikTok no so uko Facebook a emma wo mo social media no so agi yedu Ladyfort na tuma womu ensini from krani tichu ni emma womu pe awo ene emma sabi ensufi egu womu a enkaboni ewumu afi ade ba ko Ladyfort eye mamenuan mo mapa eye oba wuni atenka ewo kete so on sese asofo na ahase preach se uye bema na se uyire eni atenka anaso odofo no eni atenka ewo sese bi ode wano ena ewo se one no eda na eye konesa ade a ene se so ni demu a enkopem emre dodo sen ena sabio wode wano ene da bia odofo ebehia wo mpom na tete na saade ne eni ho na ye pa chese ye papa nom ene ye mamenom na wo mu enya anije ewo mpaso ana me pa cho uyo ba na wuni atenka ewo kete so a enye sabio ukuna na sa odofo no na da bia betete ni se wonfa ne techema na so wonfa na no enye adwuma e wo se wo ye ho aduru na nya aduru bia nso na aduru hwehwe India fo aduru a eye India hahama na yakeka bom e dia ya habandu ya ye friend Lady Fort ekwa kusiesi o minu aba ama wonya atenka wo kete so na beko na wonya atenka no na eboa ohumons na ewo onipaduanum ama na anya hode sonko nti every month bia edu ovulation period no na otukosue wie na oni bema akokohie mu a afi watimi anyensen awo afa ho afa oba na yekoye ni mu no na meka wo se true World Vision capsules no me pacho eno nso ewo dwaman so eni aduru a eno na Ghanafo edinim True World Pharmacy ankasa no eye True World Vision capsules a abibia ye ne mudi nkomo efa ho me pacho wako hospital na doctor akacho se wanya glaucoma na pressure bo wani no so wani no esuta yo wisi eprusu esu yo hene na wo pesa aye kokko wanu munua na so enko me pacho ade benwa wo hwe wu hunu ewo akira wo hwe wu hunu obi a ade san na isumadu no wo hunu ade kwa na se obi a etesi na ni so me pacho bomodin a se obehwehwe India fo adu a ye Freddy True World Vision capsules ene da o TV screen so no abidia na meka se for mobile phone twa enye sa udu pharmacy honum anaba bia ye ton adu no na ebi ni ho a ye beyi adu fufuro na ama na mama ukonom na se amoawo usika ene watu agu nipadua na kane anyamede ama yen eyeyani enti abibia wani ho asem de ewo se oma eho asem ehia opa me pacho enu ye de abadwaman so no edoso esan ebenti no yentumi emubo ni nyina so uye bema na wonya mfichi aduana ekro na wonya prostate yawe a ye wo prostate leaf ewo honom me pacho obi a waposo eyo ye wo joint fortis na afi ye wo never alive a eno eboa obi a owo intinu mu yawe me pacho se wonya mujabroso ana se wo BP da bia ko hospital ye se wonya hypertension ye wadu tatahwe ewo honom ena obi a wonya esichi yare diabetes wonso ye wadu azaka ewo honom a ebebo se ye boy yare so ana se ntumi am yare so no fa ye number na eda o TV screen no so no 0558 724 302 0558 724 302 0558 724 302 and 059 558 2628 059 558 2628 yeda ya hwefo ene yetifo nyina ase na wotwe dasene ye no mo besinyeshi
ma yandwin ya ho wote ase ye so sase mo yentimi kan si Trump anymore ye kan kole ye kokko mu ne ye kan who shall do na Trump ya wa kan sa achre I'm sure the Independence Day power jackpot nyame adom achina Ghana will be turning 69 I just say akwa adwuma no akọ pension a ye gi ahome no yetumi abobra ne se ne ye pɛ no de why are ready for Ghana celebrating 69 years of our independence? Yeah, the Independence Day power jackpot no ever wakwem. I'm trying to tie nie. When I akradi abana asan ase. The Ghana enye mfie aduosi ankunu idie. Yan chicha Ghana sika no kakran na nsuo bia aso. Enu nti wa XYZ broadcasting ha Dwaboase. O mama 20,000 Ghana. Sie fantu akradi na de obedi no majenko. Nyobeye nie obefa mobile phone no now I dial *274 hash *274 hash I'm trying to black star but *274 hash when you dial *274 hash na be more various options on your mobile phone na essence I will pay power ntino no I select option 2 I want a power jackpot na share when you select option 2 now if you shall see a tugu akrade animu only 10 Ghana cedis minimum to name multiple now if you count your stars okay 20,000 Ghana cedis eh wo dia se wudia wagena dia kwa akwato hot so what you say the more you stake the higher your chances of winning and you start *274 hash celebrate freedom celebrate winning. Let's celebrate Ghana in power and in style by dialing *274 hash. Now, if you want to 20,000 Ghana cedis, what they are called celebrate Ghana 69. And I no pay table tech for I mean, see a new free or say toe. The bar, His Excellency, leader of the Union government. They were questioned there with the case what's nas. They didn't come and I no pay. Table tech, Namus alive.
And done.
There's a marshal say, hey, now Ghana top now. And who I had the baby, I know. So, what shall I say? Show you.
I'm a chance.
Watch us all you true Ghanaian.
Of course.
Beautiful. Bibi Aboko there.
Oh, Yanko Pardum,
table check for here.
Yanko Pardum, Yahuye.
And the moment I cast and I must spray a cast and as I'm here.
And yet, you said, Nina Binen now.
Ghana did 69.
Of course.
There's almost my bonus.
And very necessary.
Very necessary. I like that. And I know Pefian Nancy Yanko.
You. Don't, my man was say, and I pay. Yenina Quenya, so Yan Chagana Manina, and a day so. Yabeko so I said, trade yam Punyanko Passum D, at the moment Ghana, and after so imu any penina. Abusia, your son with your champion, and a day off in the case so are. And my Renfi, National Swami said, a table tech garages Ghana. Table tech garages Ghana. And yes, I know dear champion, and none of pay off in the case so. Near Casa table tech garages Ghana, we about you may dear dino, we about not of boom any knee. We about your ton cars, your to cars, your to accident cars, your to 40 cars, your ton a japadie, your santo a japadie, your jumedi edin and no. And until then, you know, sounded table tech garages Ghana, we about your jumedi and knee. No more munch and one can send ye. We about your Ghana this year on one on your own grown folk so. Yeah, one of the cars, if you're on ever Ghana. Ebia wo the moving cars if you're on ever Ghana. I mean, what the Abama garages for AJ at the CEO. And I'm so among fast workers, your pentino. Can't bet Messi on for months, for years. Naka see that we see garages, I would do out the cars, Yakomomi, because of high air profiter, Omobenyanti. Ekobasa ha junior pa. And unti Anna Tabota garages Ghana said. So you'll be out the cars if you're on a neighbor, a moving cars. Nay, Upobia, Ubetin Edins, I was Ubetin Edija Ayajuma. Yao cars about 20 Abra, and goes you for months and years, and one table tech garages Ghana. Anna, me doom come and a day, and sweat me that show. And see all the moving cars if you're on a bar. She should table tech garages Ghana. Yano better says in Kunya Doom come kama. Near Affiat Mato Tioka. Yadiano, and yes, nay, who order by dying. Next 1 month for months, and I say yes. Yet then it's no chance to do come Nakam Biamani see we are. If I trust see a show, was way back now to me and Sanas and out to me noir. Obaya, Pesacas and see a tongue, Sayan Tonyo, Unsaka Sika, now 40 me at a quabua, Amadias or the Queen Yano, and sweat me repair come on, and sweat me the mouth. Be a only 40 cars, and as accident cars, and so if I'm on Abagana. But so, Tabota garages Ghana. Yano bedun komo, Yakan was Mamanesi, your pet. About your young side, the sick says a cast on Eddie amount. Yes, says we are, not yet your car, I'm a beer, and sweat me come and sweat me at amount. And unti me person what tia says, see a cassette Tabotech garages Ghana, and ye can't beer. And ye won't do ma, can't beer. Secretwa, second, about your 50 trucks, I will drop buses, and Boka Eba saloon cars, and about your 4x4, can't beer. And a young Juma, and so I say, what the Bible to your car. In your can say I 40, say I asked Obuanama, Necano, and Yaquensia. I could have posted for some, says Nababu, officer can and Yaquensian or dear Shady Abu. The mature Tabota Garages Ghana said, Call, no one police won't go in our swore, Mount Saka or Cana and Yaquensiano. Fabra, Tabota Garages Ghana, swear, you better to your cap. Obuanama Necano, or Pespepas, you are papa, Unya, and it's a can is your life of Manon. The mature Oba. Now be share Tabota Garages Ghana. Sakan I 40. You open its papers are papa for so many years into a packet can edition. You better edit your car. Obu also swear or the for sale. Up on account for so many months, for so many years in ye. Hekai. So the no money, a book on a pack or mantra baby. Sir, can Obiama toy. Tabota Garages Ghana self for Sakan bra. You better act to a camabia and sweat me I come and sweat me at amount. The senti Ghana for this Yamman on it won't confo so. Ya money cars eba, money accident cars eba Ghana. We watch all who person Tabota Garages Ghana 18 command. Ya number seen enough yan 2 command so. Ya number 1 1 no about your other plus 233 eba count. Now if you what mean, Edna man aso so come. Now 40 me I was appear and I sort my friend. I'm a be answer to me
atodin e de ma ya number so ay 0542 275 252 0542 275 252 0542 275 252 0542 275 252 ibacho esan double as WhatsApp number any two amonani a o the plus 233 be so na 40 WhatsApp e kama bejo so na fia ma bia so timi e kama e da ma ya na be obio enso aye 0542 961 111 0542 961 111 0542 961 111 0542 961 111 Beba cho Tabota Gratis Ghana am found see ye to cars ye santon cars no ye san sie cars but your television swame ye the state of the art of modern equipment mfidia above mfidie modern standard current san mfidie boy am yetimi ehu ba bia fortune she okanum no na fetime sese kama enso atimi edama unim se Tabota Gratis Ghana pe ana Ghana ma mu am say enei sawudo ka akwa adwuma so wurutu kwan na so kan ko jawo se kwantin fie ko sai a unya fra Tabota Gratis Ghana pe ba cho ye be soma ye team na ba na fie de ye towin kan be to kan kama na eyade se ne sa towin ne towin no enei yanjisika bia e free towing ana de be ma wo enu achi ye be sama wo ka ye be ma wo ka a obetimi de yusu da ye wo internal rounds ahodo nya kopem se wo ka na ko jawo se kwantin fie no yetime sese ma bia ai kama na fa be for de edicol na enu achi kra no onim se nei wo ya benjamin nim all government workers about you to say be nei wo ya nurse wo ya doctor bankers ahodo companies ahodo any schools any about other nyumakwa ahodo nyina ebibokwa na wo ya businessman wo ya businesswoman nanso wo bere eswa wo ni bere anu nti wo ka se wo fie nyina no wo nya tampoko na watimi de akwa mane watimi service ka se nyina ama ka no so watimi ba in good shape se sana tede ya wo fre Tabota Gratis Ghana me ba cho ye be soma ye able team of men no aba na sa able team of men eba ene ye ba fa ka se de fi waso ye e de aban ya so ye na fi etima service ni nya kama enso etimi e da ma o enti so pa enfoma me aboa ma bia so etimi ai kama enso etimi e da ma o wonim se Tabota Gratis Ghana ene wo de cancer ye ho dwuma eto nchen a be be se Ghana for enu bi ye o hwe me otimeti asese ene ye to ajapade ye san eton ajapade obi wo no ma na o na sase oposo ton obi wo no ma o ne uncompleted building bia ene bebe o se na adu no ne usika nyina asa asem kase bi ato eni to oposo ton o oposo ton sa wo uncompleted building na Tabota Gratis Ghana ye beto ti oka obi wo no ma o completed building wasia bibi e kama oposo ton ye beto ati oka obi wo so a na ope asase ato Tabota Gratis Ghana me bato ye ton sase so kan enei so ope plot of land upe acres of land ni nyina no ye be mo biato wo bi so a wo ton so a ye beto ati oka ama bia enso atimi ai kama wonim se Ghana ha de Tabota Gratis Ghana ye sonko ye unique ewe dwumadiem esense dwumadie nyina no ye bato emu da fine outimi se abeboa ama bia enso atimi ai kama enso atimi edama wonim se medical not wonim da say ye the state of the art of modern health equipment and ne aye adwuma awe aso ye enti ka hunima bia say yes oye oven spraying samba try ene aye air conditioning services say electrical fault sambo kwa air body wash me wacho ka ho adwuma bia no ye bi enso awe aso ye ye the above mfidie aye standard air modern air current and ye adwuma enso awe aso ye enti be bia wo bia wotemi ka se wo Ghana ha se wo amonone ene upese wo ton ka ana o kana 40 o kana nya accident o person ton a baby ya saudu ne che no aye Tabota Gratis Ghana ana medi nkomo edama Ghana de hye mo amono ne enei wo do ka ba be si garage e wo Ghana m si wa che for so many months so many years nie ka ye ba cho ye nto ana se ho aidin o ko ba enei ni ye mo excuse any other day Tabota Gratis Ghana pe ana me ba cho so wo do ka ne ba ye to ne tua ka bra e no tanse sinkunya ya ka osema bibia enso etimesi e ma renfi national so me say Tabota Gratis Ghana me ba cho yen kwa mata Ghana de emienu ne din kan ye wo Nkran Accra the nation's capital ye wo Awoshi Waterways ebia yen fa ne se ne ufila pass ana do na che Awoshi Waterways a me ba cho ye wo benkum so ana ebi say ne ufi be bi te say malam ka so an po dan so ma ene ba so a ene ye wo nifa so ohonum ana Tebota Garages Ghana ye wo sanso na ne yen komata to so so e wo Geta Kumase asantemantam kopon Kumase mu udu ahojo runabout in between bacho Georgia Hotel and Gritco office no ohonum ana Tebota Garages Ghana ye wo ye adwuma fiti juada akopem eye memeda Monday to Saturday and ye adwuma yes abraba no apa no otwe 8 am akopem anwume no nsia 6 pm ye na masimpio na fie friends baby obia no friends sia na fie ni komama bibia so nya kama emfama o 0542 275 252 0542 275 252 0542 275 252 and I said 0542 961 111 0542 961 111 ya da Ghana phone nyina ase
thank you
ene edimosi nyame ya doma dasene ebesane Ghana man be di ahyiam
thank you sir nyankopon hira mo pa
amen.
na kwa me taxi driver na enkane na misisi eso misisi ama kame na to na twetwe nya 3p garlic mixer no aboa me pa ata miracle bi wadro no just mafunu kra so di sia twini anka me humi esi so kas me humi ani esi so obeka se di obibi hye me so bi no na ye normal nti ni bi fi na ti no ti pa me sa ri desi ni adona anka se de nyankopon di ayi bi ahodi se ma yi bi nyansa mketwa ana mse we de metro aka so na me fa nhyɛ me nkwana
me de abe pa se 3 years ni ana asa me gina wa me na mu se sunya se me kwa me de ameko bi amu so much me dru ta abe 6 years ni tema bi am ya maji se ne me jana nti ta ya le ne nku me preko ene 4 days ana me koto 3 garlic mixer ni tema me kase yanku me yam se ene ya me no kase me wa to me a me din wa me mte ase
3p garlic mixer ubenya bi wo mamu pharmaceutical shops and herbal shops Fred Piwak e 02489288824 and 020100002.
Going to the library. Going to the library.
Okay.
Waiting for my graduation. Oh well.
Education changes stories, and being part of these stories is the real passion for us.
When nations rise, it begins with bold conversations. When economies grow, it is driven by partnership. This April, Ghana's business and policy leaders converge at the Kuru Business Forum 2026, the nation's premier platform for investment, enterprise, and economic transformation. With special guest of honor, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, joining captains of industry, financial institutions, investors, and entrepreneurs.
The Kuru Business Forum is more than just an event. It is a call to action. And so let us work together to build a Ghana that is competitive, productive, and inclusive, and a Ghana that creates opportunities for all.
Come, let's engage in high-level dialogue, explore industry exhibitions, build powerful networks, and unlock real opportunities from finance and insurance to manufacturing, agribusiness, SMEs, and innovation. This is where it all happens. From the 3rd to the 5th of April, 2026, at the Crew Convention Center, ATBA, go to www.crewbusinessforum.com and register now. To register for exhibitions, call 059 555 5885 or 059 555 5995. Crew Business Forum. Connect, promote, grow.
Dem say butu. E wo bosu match mo. Yes, celebrate Karaman. Adunti community football kesiapa. Eni adi etudwa e wo afimo. E ye Lawson Dwaboase community gala. Miminda eni kwesi adebia e 57th of March e kwesi 28th of March. Action no e live e wo Kakari Astotep. E wo Dansuman last stop. Adunti bra. Behead tackles, goals, drama, bra. Na yen kambom, yen jiani, na yen ta local talent no eswedi. Geopolitical ebenya 40,000 Ghana cedis. Yobeto Simi ebenya 30,000 Ghana cedis. Yobeto Simi ensa ebenya 20,000 Ghana cedis. Yobeto Simi ebenya 10,000 Ghana cedis. Lawson Dwaboase Community Gala, powered by Lawson Dwaboase Peters, Lawson Dwaboase Atadri Ginger Liquor, Lawson Enterprise, proudly Ghanaian. Official poll! Power Independence Jackpot! Mansaka! Ghana Free! And when you made that 69th Independence Day! It's Friday, 6th March 2026. On Yaza, you will wave the flag and quote. Richard Jack and no coffee or Lajan Kudisika. Independence Power Jackpot! 69th edition! Taylor in the big! 9 days before mobile phone. $9 *274#. Select option 2. Power Jackpot. Ticket to Krubia, 10 Ghana cedis. Into the more to tickets and no chances of winning a Susura no call. Mexicanable flow amodama. 9 winners, but for 690 Ghana cedis, Akufie and paying a Pabaze. Ticket to Krubia, 10 Ghana cedis. 9 days before mobile phone. $9 *274#. Select option 2. Power Jackpot. Taylor in the big. Kofi guys, Eddie, Ewa, Sombo. Also, na nipa brave inside na mundress na enkono na abochoko ko wankwane ya. Oh, me ho mfa me bakokra. Ma hospital kra ma e ka chem se malaria. Malaria nrusu man no. Also, e ka edu herbal clinic. Malaria mo beto na ta. Wo de rubi aba fan Edek Malakio mixture. Mamumo bi na no. Malaria betani. Edek Malakio mixture. Genome na omoto. Edek Malakio anu odin etumi malaria papa. Edek Malakio betimi fever no ho. Eti de yi hame. Edek Malakio mixture. Ebema wonum atoso. Edek Malakio mixture. Eye papa. Enti bi omoja mu nsa wo 3D ansa na wa fa 3D edu. Apemfo abata wo mo manufo ne kwada wo ne fie dum yenu nka ho. Edek enkwa-sombo FDA ahwehwe sa edwadie krato yi mu agya to mu se eye. Malaria beta.
Pepe na fidie ye de say ato akwemu ye betumi ai den a build on the foundation ye be lay no enti sisi a no the damage omukose ye no Nyankopon do yetumi stabilize hold yetumi ye nkase bibia aye no pepe but the mess ne de ya correct dodo na ye gusu den correct dodo na so that oman no betumi ai den afa ne ntoma pa efra na meka ekono na meka ekosi se amembu a MPP fo bebu ye no ena dia His Excellency the President sisi ano omotwe hu kra omonte ase because hwe bi omodi inflation kodu ye na ende bibia inflation eda 3.3 unprecedented
hwe bi omo de dollar no kodu ye na hwe nde ne bi a dollar ne da eba no dollarization ni in politics na MPP for kra na sanso kofa bae enti no if all these indicators and as economic indicators are by abone ho modern emasisi ano international community no kra eni agi oman Ghana ho ama yesa amasan rate yen B+ a mini abema obeji atum se edwuma pa na oman no ayeden aye na omo claims a omo de ma se enu na economy ni bo form ni na no IMF ni eyimu na ba di bank say and I refute that claims they say enye those external eyina say bio MPP for edese no ene na ebe ye omo down for but na ye gross economic mismanagement ene mo administration no eden efeli ye na omo lens omo ka say economy no enye sanet no maybe sir when they took over omo to me e boka ma cocoa board crampo 2023 omo to me enya syndicated loan omotumi omo run economy no basama 2023 omotumi nya syndicated loan for cocoa board 2024 the same into a model omo use a self financing model na econisa no se company no na ko credit worthy a na ko benya syndicated loan no enti che so mo bo abrabofun they said the omko gigi loans na omo be chedi ye no aside that taxes ne burden na omo de beto Ghana so unim say the energy sector recovery levy na ye the 1 cedi ebeto so say ye dey restore energy sector problems no and there many will say all the debts of the IPPs no have been cleared through that initiative no MPP for AG on mine in 2017 na energy sector recovery levy na ye introduce here during His Excellency the President Mahama first term of office no na it was meant to be a special purpose vehicle. Now after resolving the energy crisis, okay, it will be wiped off. But MPP for EBD says Gano, aside that, so almost as the Koye collateral, into Yeti Hano, Nigana for 80 minino. MPP for Eddie Mutia Koshe, so maybe a Bobiasi and I say, a Kabiasia or Mutia up to 2032. Into Yetina say, you just up to 2032. Into no so more bo or minus Sumwa and our president Subwa. Then the one and they have created a mess. As a matter of fact, Nanka or Munim say a trap. Ananka or mine be ginsem, I call haywire, but Nyango point on your Latini, not on your left handed.
Hey,
why they?
Let's not offend people.
Okay, I will draw that. But the American say, what American say, Nyango point your lefty. Was a Casa?
One was happening.
Oh, like I said, Nyango point your lefty, or you both left and right, Anna. On one side, that's what I want to
all right, okay, no
like.
problem, yeah.
The American say, Nyango enye a ontena honhwe e ma de papa e be boa obi ano enye den ense ena wotwitwa age o man Ghana sisi ano you can see say the fortunes of the country no Nyango de nsa abemma economic wise wo hwe human capital development went wise na wo hwe ngofo na omudi o man nenim sisi ano wo hwe omode bia ni omusuban a bibia edida koima ebo modern say obia be den e be falling in line na ya develop o man no na minority omo less omo di hu economy ni sisi and me who say almost suffer from what we call economic psychological debilitation.
I know you don't know.
One say omuka say someone is suffering from a psychological debilitation. Na say na adwene mu no left side no gonjon pi no akoka transistor no. Gonjon pi no akoka transistor na say left right 3940. Just thinking no enkoyie kakra. Because nanke enye shared wickedness and as a political witchcraft. Who say bibi ko ya nanka mo be boaji so na mo support ema ye nyina ya build o man no but mini obema oti ha say ubeko edwom akoto tomatoes and as obeko akoto car ye turn $10,000 abeton $4,000 ana.
Oh no. Obia per profit.
And aside that, one year profit crop now you should do what? You should break even. Yeah. And to know how consistently would you, and I say, how can you continue to make losses and how can you stay in business? And to know yen MPP for you, me sure mo thinking na me say bibia to chiman kakra because how would you expect buying Dwaboase? na on fa so sika so ansa no watumi atokoko at a price at international market no yen tone sa meanwhile omuni na ya krachifu nka so mutena parliament e adwuma no ntino constituencies omo vote such people as MPs no I think say you reconsider they taking these people out of parliament because school no mko no it's either say omo nsua mass and an say omo nsua dia na so mabon because motro me pe weather like 3 word no and I mean to me like wa said that onim no kran pa but boapayo yes that is it boapayo pa no mudidi say adwuma no intino as a matter of fact MPP for no won omonenam cocoa farms na se and omoye enkosi yaga
Kwajo Pokrama say they will sustain a parliamentary debate to secure what he describes as the rightful earnings for the cocoa farmers. The minority will not relent even if it takes years to restore what is due the cocoa farmer. We are going to use every possible means to debate this and resist the reduction in the producer price as stated by the finance minister.
You know, minority, Kojo Ponkruma or a hypocrite putting all the under MPs.
Why?
He should put his calculator on the line. So mine Adwin Pa. Nankade will be explaining to the cocoa farmers say the current international prices has fallen. Even if you see are falling below 4,000 has fallen. They should hold their peace. In an instance, say Ebekosroa government bedding Ebetum right now because they don't have any scandal or anything. MPP party because they don't have inginasobia to make or critique any of government decisions and activities. No, person no munya bibia eka. Now sometimes no Bible kura my say we are quieter, you be considered wise, but so kasa too much. Krana you be seen as a foolish person. And no Bible ne kan yen me na me kan. Now, sir, the day or more ye call for attention. Cocoa farmers be a teachers, be a professors, be engineers. Into no money, dear Cosso Nankasa. Sisian because of our befu fidie, or more far mufona, or more go, or into no dear multi no. Share any one strategy. I mean, who say minority for the person who usually say. So, omo this national market prices, no, and then are reflecting now, no. But if in the near future, if the prices goes up, I tell you on authority say, I buy your stance and then say price no cost roa. All right,
Roger, Mamina was me back to you. I will talk about Ghana 69 and how far we've come as a nation. But okay, off air now, as a Kenya argument kakra about factors that determine the price of the commodity cocoa. Now, okay, say any commodity. Why should somebody dictate the pricing any day? You a businessman, obi any mumudro business money a day. I don't know, okay, sir.
Yeah. Minu adon me dawase ani akwanya ade amame mame fa akwanya so nchia minu ha Roger
good
ne etifo nyina. This is where yempenfo na die nhamo oman a wo so wanya independent na wo ajapade na je se de wo beto no wa mpre ebo na ode beba no wa mpre so a wo di kokko ne bibia enye ye eche se independent na Kwame Nkrumah say o fight my no say na Nkrumah hye ni grave mo obesu ni suo cause ya dwene wo form my brother
yes
before some by independent na so no the cocoa beans ewiase nyina enyema edi cocoa ye no sika e generate mawiase meka the industry players of cocoa beans processing value addition chain ema revenue ade by $129 billion.
$129 billion.
Yes,
globally. Okay.
Now globally, yenya e produce cocoa beans na de kwaya say adwuma no. Yenya 6% of the total value, amounting to 7.7 billion. Na sabi ya dakete so a yebekọ sa loose win agreement way. You better for them Ghana for now. We are president. What do you mean international market? anko fight for a better price ebema cocoa farmer no ho atono wa ma bofra hu huna waje boketo abi atom no ba be ka che cocoa ni na wo free di cocoa se wo kwakoto ama no se me kwa ya ma boketo abi nti me so me bra boketo abi. Can you imagine what is the value of cocoa beans?
But so we are not the sole producer of the commodity.
We are talking about Ghana. Forget about the rest, because
but wo do the Ivory Coast the Nigeria the Nigeria Cameroon the Nigeria the onone to no nature ni ope or her quality or her the quantity out there bani there. You are telling us that Yemum should be able to go and call the shots over there.
Then you don't know the value. I didn't put the value, because if you know your value, nobody can take you for a ride. Remember what I say?
Yeah.
Cocoa no mo je omo de den.
Omo de go into processing.
Now you need to processing. What prevents us from processing? What some kwaji na me nwa ka say ye nya cocoa syndicate loan.
Yeah.
Ukuta commodity. Wiase nyina epre. No wasa akoda source say this am bomb say nam de beto cocoa na unya sa we. Yesusa no na ye consortium of banks. And eto cocoa. Until September biana sikamono aba cocoa skaba. Some years back, 1 ton of cocoa na to abion. Ka friend abion. Now 1 ton of cocoa to abion. Abofra hu say yenim nyansa ya sebe ya dwene wo fom. Ade mo de bo na kɔ fom na abion ne 1 ton be 50 tons 70 min to abion. Me what I say? Who determines Toyota price? Ka friend Toyota when they determine the price?
Yeah, the manufacturing company.
Na do ne yes why you manufacture cocoa yetimi
Oh, decay.
I just say ya ma ewiase short change here.
Yeah.
Do mama me catch on ne say sa cabinet decision na muko take here no emwa wo do mama wa ban. Emwa Ghanaian farmers. Emwa Ghana as a whole. But you know why?
No bibi obetumi aye.
Of course.
In this case.
Of course. Who president who call for IMF bailout.
Yeah.
And yes sir. He's under IMF conditions. Now, for the money bailout. Bailout. Because you know more. A friend is saying non-disclosure agreement. So, the border is an offense.
Of course.
You remember, put yourself in an ordinary farmer or take 2 bags a year. Now, what? Cocoa from Bobu said, your friend about that too.
About that too.
The Bible be a drum cocoa for few months. Come here, cocoa farmer. Before beam.
You could see our 1 year day.
Yeah, now I take 2 bags. I expected 7,200. Now so command 5,000. I get on fault. Now, what's say you have a moment 90% of
the FOB.
FOB. Busa say. So on one control of one commodity. Now it's international market. Like I say, cocoa price about 2,000. But 2,000 about 2,000 for $4. And the current rate, say 11 cities.
Yeah.
Times 2,000. Now here, scar equity bigger. About 1,200. Are they better off? The decision I could take here. It is not the solution. Ublemu opposition. Ghana ha abebia nuwa opposition bia nuwa wa win power down. The flaws of the incumbent and the pave way for the opposition to take over. This is way a creative scar, indelible pain in the hearts of the farmers.
But some farmers too also agree, say, you know,
my brother, it's one of the hypocrisies of Ghanaians.
Oh, you think so?
Of course.
Say Nipana Nim say the commodity, you know, I mean, forces from the international market. I don't know, independent minded. Yadune is still colonized. So if you were the president, and situation will be handled the same.
What I would do now, and you say, make sure realistic price in my home. Now, shall be
over first kind of way.
Maybe as a nation. Now, the sovereign country in Yeska.
I know.
Energy sector. Ebra oba se kada odi an wo or levy 1 cedi on every liter of petroleum. Ghana for bowa. Are we not paying?
We are.
What is ESLA? ESLA ya dia.
Energy sector levy.
Yentua. To recovery
levy.
Yentua. So obe busa me say fa de be yes every. Koko for body be no ya. Yet to be create fund me fan support to this intervention na yen move away. Now for yen come to our drawing table say where did we go wrong with the industry? What can we do as a nation to safeguard the industry? Now can now odi sa bed we kwa to a peasant farmer. Go to cocoa growing areas. I'm not telling na any new biem. Akoka mre wan kokrafo nkwa na egu cocoa farmers emu. Me ba what you say. And we are not you improvise say if you cry you the machines e be cocoa aduma. Abeye traditional hoes and cutlasses. Cocoa plantation ba cocoa ni Ghana. There's not one single cocoa mechanized cocoa plantation ba cocoa Ghana. Yaduna da. We don't want to use what we have to get what we want as a nation because we don't have national policy direction. MPP ba we by way or go MPP so MPP ba no and you go 1 step forward 2 step backwards. As a intimate market so we don't have critical thinkers in this country. Gold in Yebenya na imperialist no more 12%. And then now lithium. Look at what is happening. Lithium MPP pay almost 15% in here. Mo ba na mo be ma 5% for the nation. Mo say and dey better na mo betima justify. What are we why are we doing this to ourselves? Young guy. Your future is bleak. NDC,
young guy.
MPP and DC is destroying this country. What I say? They are destroying the political, psychological, social, economical mindset of Ghanaians because we are doing fake democracy.
Fake democracy, you say?
Government by the few, for the few, and the few benefit.
You think so?
Of course.
Are you benefiting?
Listen, by the few. Those are the top notch. They are benefiting. Ordinary Ghanaian, our plight is almost constantly being manipulated by this the so-called duopoly of the country. I didn't hear better. All that we know is blame game. Blame game. Talking too much. Less a first action.
Power the fair.
As independent country, right? Your commodity crane independent. And no to American company. As a nation, you have gold mining. Idea what assassin. Yes, will be made on a percentage. Are we serious as a nation? Ghana government holdings. We don't have 100% Ghana government holdings in any of our extractions of minerals. Now, now we are downloading that comment NDC. NDC MPP, they are much of a muchness.
All right.
What I say? From independent basin, with this model of governance architecture, we are losing everything next to nothing. Near Ghana is where Ghana is. Yes, you saw me. The first time I make call and the Metra Ghana with him. Any Ethiopian line established the same your friend saying
airline,
you know, and the Ethiopian line could have 400 aircraft. Ghana was near 20 ships, blaster line, and then blaster line, a goo, and then this MPP. Near 600 factories, Bonsa tie. Firestone your brand no na France for be fata car ko be free akọ and there's a counter dey share car say France for no be o mo car is free Ghana Renault Citroen and a Peugeot na ya TV ne fridge ne bibia akaso anoma ani sanyo mo be gu ne manya industries na mo gu no ana mo de kasa anoden ane selfishness self-seeking politicians ana mugu ana mo destroy the whole country and our environment koko kwa kan wasemi it has been depleted in tonnage by the menace of Galamsey in MPP NDC. Our water bodies, 700 water bodies, more destroy no. Come open them.
All right.
My brother, Ghana is not progressing. We are rather retrogressing.
All right.
Okay, if you sit,
just 30 seconds. Yes, sir.
Now your national introspection from where Nkrumah left and Ike Champon left. We are backsliding.
You think so?
Of course.
Not even the reset. It's saving us.
I didn't reset because political rhetoric. I want some near Ghana. I didn't reset it.
Nothing has resetted.
No, Maya. We are heavily industrialized. What's all Mexico is from? What about the
Mami, now I'll be back to you. Then we look at Ghana 69. How far we've come, Roger. For the sake of our time, no, I'm giving you 10 minutes. So the will have the last 10 minutes. Then we say goodbye. My mean to you on any rebuttals. Then the 69th independence anniversary.
Mitio DK no Miraho.
Miraho.
Yeah, Miraho pa Miraho Kramano.
Oh, fano no.
I believe say Ebano Ghana Bakosema with respect to where he stands, no. On him so much. What you say? And Ebano Cocoa issue no so because of where he sits and being a farmer no so. He should know so much on the ground. Aside that, so with the pricing mechanism and then the issues surrounding its economies, no so he should have a lot of ideas. But to sit and say there have been an introduction of a levy to support the energy sector, which was taxed onto the citizenry. You know, there should be another introduction of a levy to pay. Or add
cocoa industry.
Is it saving or adding? Listen, you see the challenge is
like if you add on, you are saving the situation.
Are you no wait? You see with the cocoa,
we added the S-line to save a situation.
Yes. Wait. Roger. The energy sector is an institution that runs the service so that private individuals cannot hijack a service that is supposed to be served to the entire nation. What I'm trying to say is that it's a utility.
Yeah.
Cocoa isn't a utility. Are you getting me? So if there are interventionary measures, things that government normally intervenes, are things that everyone should be able to afford. Cocoa is not a utility. Are you getting the point?
Yeah,
so it should not be prudent to go and take a loan to come and just pay for something that tomorrow you go for loan again and come and pay without having any output. I'm asking. Okay, maybe say Dwaboase in fact say $1 million this year. Now they are better top up cocoa prices no what. Now next year price no ankosro na esanso e wo fom no asan kwaje Dwaboase no betu ya interest so no asan kwaje Dwaboase no asan they are better top up na what. Now next 2 years what's ankwaje now they are no, what are you doing? Are you not jeopardizing your future? Into no contradicting home. Say, enyama na cost papa no, Nkrumah time no. Sisi an ase no. Still no, you are retrogressing. Of which make us say yes, we are retrogressing. But sir, issue of wanting to go and Dwaboase. Now what you are then? What you are to your way so no. Bibia far-fetched. And then I come into the go and come back again.
Mesaba.
Na ebano cocoa issue na o ka say yen add value odike ni me be ya adwen say eye MPP forces here no mo papa no mo nananom mo no bo Ghana form mekanisa dey na me patre ye wo ha say na Kwame Nkrumah ka kire say the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of Africa. Now me can say mo ekosi say me can kosi say cocoa production no in Africa you produce about 70% of cocoa. Now maybe so if more than 4 countries who will say who cocoa who be hold there now pay high price and I say this here hey who ton watch it me say odike ni odike ton watch it me ton watch it uso ton watch it na enkofo ba beto watch it no na ni na ye ya no baako say ye beton watch it no not less than 50 cedis, between 50 cedis and 55 cedis. And you be able no tia or be the price no e the same range on beton sa. What you say? Now say yen menu you can say beton ye 50. Now what you dey so ye 20 ah. Omoba no me be say 50 wa say ya. Eye 20 no on be kwa akoto. On be akoto 20 no nti yen ye koko no ebeka. What you say? Me ka ko say for us to be able to control the international prices, and there should be some sort of cartel. And na nkruma pa kire say ye ni na ye produce cocoa na say African countries are a one hand ni na no. We should be able to team up. Now say this country the independence, we also want the independence, economic independence, and I say ye interlinked na ye ni na ya dwen ekwagina. And they bet me them determine prices no. But at the moment ye ni na ya dwen ye dey enkwagina. Aside that no, let's look at what Nkrumah measures and Nkrumah edited to Akwemu to help the cocoa sector. As at the time, na cocoa and the leading a commodity Emma Ghana foreign earnings. As at the time, na gold crab mines are earnings no. As at the time, na cocoa and Emma those earnings and Nkrumah share ya no say no. Because we a major contributor to Ghana's economy, no, I was say, ye developing strategy. We will not only add value addition, but we will hoard. Maybe sir, silo na Nkrumah see tema. Minim so afa hoarder. Silo ni kesiye. Silo. 69 years ago, more than 70 years ago, what you say? Silo ni kesiye with an idea and a blueprint say cocoa no ye doa and I told you kwapolo ye fan rush and pray ho enye den enfan ko international market no because in economy me expect so odikebenim say in an economy or in a market you will be demand and supply. Yes, you will be demand push or cost push, demand or supply push. Moon drag and indicated prices of commodities in an open market. Into say open sell price cost raw. Omu demand it, knowing the quality of your cocoa in the listing in the market and how it contributes to the market now. That is say you na ya now the most quality. That's a would me have a way to hold yours away from the market. They will be forced to increase prices. Maybe so. You have a facility no to do that. No. Obi start here. What happened after the overthrow? Are not, what happened? They don't even have the blueprint. How the mechanism and how it will operate. They don't even have it. Because it's some way both for anything in Nkrumah, they wanted to destroy it. Me say. All right. MB4. Omo papa no well ni omo nananum omo ma bogana for medi akọ omo dey akọ reverse
Ghana 69 I mean you bro on it now. Good.
Ghana 69 no be bia Nkrumah wo bia ne raho. I just say 69 years. I've been to South Korea. Now me call mu economic research center. Now on slogan ebo the miraculous development of South Korea. The miraculous development of South Korea. Now, as at the time, na Ghana, the GDP higher than that of South Korea. We say na independence the same year. Few months na den team. Now, Ghana cry supporting South Korea. Then there uko South Korea, America cry nyefesa. Uko South Korea, America nyefesa. Omo train lines underground. Omo like who share the way ɔman city na wohwɛ Ghana Ghana on the standard need do farm site in Europe. Because Holland say farm. The road they did that farm smooth gutters, waters, no the way you neat like mapping only be that's so correct now be sound say.
I mean I was say. Your Excellency,
my brother,
you have the last bite of the pie, then we say goodbye.
Thank you.
I will have the last bite. Pray
we have some time left. Okay.
Cocoa prices fluctuate.
Yeah.
Me what fast we new a global international global market forces. I thought we could do $13,000 per metric ton.
Yeah.
I thought we about 10,000. Eti a debe nyansa na a train. Where lies our cocoa buffer? Cocoa revenue buffer.
Yeah.
I could do 13,000. Now MPP near this the to Land Cruises. Go to Cocoa Board, never cast some more. What I say? Eti a ye pay 1 and 10 na coffee within the 4 years syndrome. And the day cocoa industry na be do baby abedu. You need perform with more critical mind. You bet my shaya a bema cocoa and a for now to so. Yeah, depending on prices from Uma Ebeto cocoa. No, Master Busan say. So be unsa wadi one talk, never boss wa. I never know it. If I was a wadiano, one talk will be a de corbeding.
Over my booby.
Now, oh, your president, what's not side the way? I'm not about to do sabri. No, Krenina won in the war. Non-disclosure agreement say, Cocono, or ya, we are ready to buy. No, or now we download a word pressure now. Now, what by crowd? Do you know what political power means? It is allocation of the people, resources, and money. Why a Japanese now crowd to me mitigated the shocks? Now, Canadian cocoa bag in Mirna. O download or Kogunoso. I don't even find your canoe we are saying. As some way, we make some baby a canoe we are saying. Why, a home for Scassia would ye. And I send by, I will say, where you quit in Nama, or the bois unrealistic and a man. And we have people justifying this. Cocoa farmers, cocoa industry, and yes, 60 years. No government has ever challenged the status quo. Yaba ya kwa broche akoton. Ya kwa broche na uradi yankopon.
Don't you also think say
increments government challenge the status quo?
No, I'm saying say don't you think say syndication na ye who free no Emma and also no has brought about a bit of a challenge.
Ya no kwa na ye the most stupid decision ever. Yam pen for take here. Ooh, cocoa. Baby, I'll cotton now, Quadribusan, and ever took cocoa. No, what's I could train interest among them. We are a consortium of banks, net to cocoa already. No million for so syndicated loan. I am rubbish, absolutely rubbish. Near a model of purchasing our hadada. I started and say, yes, I got syndicated loan anymore. Committing could just come on their investment. I didn't want to tell me the milk for. And yet, the most useless model of purchasing. It's not the man called cry. Now, South Cocoa syndicated loans, not share before. What I say? But that politician visa or this kind of Obena free loan 1.8 million, 1.8% of the loan you bet here. That's a better name. Exactly how be done open so ton fee no. When the first person was as a million, and I made a name on Mayton. So bet me at local banks, a bet me at this kind of atria ama a bank. Near what Baffa, but not quite in Yansan. I go say a Cocoa Bank, our Ghana. Cocoa Bank. Our mom cocoa and share haulage. Woman supply be beyond share fast bank. krani sika nyina be fa bank. But omu is self-seeking politicians, and they have people like Mofasi to go on air, no more defend the indefensible.
What's Ghana 69 or Warrior Hona would you anything?
Dedicano.
Yep.
Politically, you lose the war.
You think so?
Of course, because so also we have democracy. Na democracy na also we know. Minya democracy no enye di keke. Democracy I want a tennis. If I what you say, or maybe I will practice a serious democracy. No, number one, you don't check around the globe with a cup in hand begging. Or maybe we have serious democracy. On stress there. Number two, democracy, Papa Biano, we don't induce the people. It didn't say free and fair elections. You vote with your free conscience. But people need this woman I'm to your bribe. Akwa Kodu baby say, look at Ayawaso, the lowest turnout ever in the history of this country.
For a by-election.
That percentage in here say.
Oh, less than 50%.
No. 40 krenu.
Yeah.
Don't go there.
That's what I'm saying, less than 50%.
That 50%. It is telling us, sir, people are losing interest in our political system. Psychologically, Ghana for that should live said the colonial masters in one. Because they came here to exploit us on our minerals. What I say? They came here to colonize us. They came here to enslave us. And then they can't no matter the ship the slaves. Says any you take it. A cocoa slavery. So
what could you be about?
Me that mean trouble to that.
No local business now.
Says any you take it. A co enslavement. Number two, exploitation on our minerals. Says no, Yenya is some more next to nothing. 2%, 3%, 5%, 12%. What I say? It's economically. About for the no better munyana. Yenya cry sabo mumu next to nothing.
So you think we are not independent?
Maybe make a come back.
Sorry. Time to.
Socially. We create divide and rule in our model architecture of leadership. And this is new one people now. We so an enemy case pa. But here na your club back. Eti South Transi now say a Japadia near war. 1992 partisan modeling abet sweeping away from the coffers of the nation. The actually say in theory we are independent, but in practice it is never so.
I see.
Independent no starting from what dream. And I drag on for no. Dedicano, we are not patriotic to this nation because of 1992 constitution.
Right.
Yes, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. It is per the constitution I use. Ghana Nibia corrupt, and it is endemic to the development of this nation.
All right. I mean, I was say. A burning team. Oh, Roger, where the fracture me na a burnet CIA.
Mami wish Mami Hajia Samira. Happy birthday.
Hajia Samira mudi here Baumia.
Oh, Samira, yes. Na me find Jacques here, and Mammy executive say was Shaman. Yeah, on my idea grassroots. No, okay, beautiful.